Join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, 10 a.m., 2 p.m. We got you. 10th official show. We are now in the double digits. And that means it's time to get a little bit spicy.
Okay.
Spicy on a Wednesday. Is there any hot sauce that starts with a W? Right, Tapatio Wednesday. That might make sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of something. Somebody help me.
Wasabi Wednesday?
Wasabi Wednesday.
There you go.
That's why you get paid the big bucks, Nate. We are very excited for Wasabi Wednesday. And because that is at 12:15, we have the most controversial topic that has been brought to Stiles and Watkins, possibly at Sactown Sports. That's at 12:15. There will be a poll on YouTube. We want callers, 916-339-1140. We want the text line. Chris doesn't even know the question.
You won't tell me.
Nate doesn't even know the question. This is the most controversial topic that we've ever discussed. That is at 12:15. You won't want to miss that. You also won't want to miss Frankie Cardicelli at 11, our Sactown Sports Kings reporter. We're talking Kings, of course, no De'Aaron Fox or anyone that you've heard of on the Blazers for that matter. Lakers and LeBron complaining a little later in the show. We will get into ranking some QBs because it's time to have a conversation about Brock Purdy and who is he really better than. The numbers could say this, the EPA, the GPA, the PPA, they could say whatever. I want to know who you're taking Brock Purdy over. Chris, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Chris Watkins Wednesday. How about that?
Hey, there you go. How about that? Yeah, a lot better than the wet blanket Wednesdays. It's good. It was weird to not really have any sports to follow yesterday unless you're a big NHL person. But didn't. It was just weird. I think this is the first day, I feel like in a really long time, where there's just been absolutely no sports on a given night. So feeling good, feeling energized, and curious what's happening at 12:15. I'm kind of scared. I'm not. You
should be.
I'm nervous that you're just gonna turn everyone on you. Or
and
you're just gonna say something outlandish.
I just ask questions. That's all I do, and I wait for answers. Speaking of, we know there wasn't a lot of sports going on yesterday. Yeah. So what better time for the San Jose Sharks to win their first game? They are 1-10.
Wow.
And I have no clue what happened. I'll be honest. I went to a Sharks game years ago, maybe 5-6 years ago, and it was a great experience. I think hockey live is outstanding. I don't know what happened to the Sharks. The last I saw of them is when they were in the finals along with the Warriors, and neither of them won.
Gotcha.
And then after that, they just fell into a land of mediocrity, and now it feels like it's worse. So shout out to the San Jose Sharks for getting off the schneid and winning a game.
Well, yeah, and I wouldn't even say followed. I've looked at the scoreboard from afar, and I've already seen that the Sharks have lost twice by 10 or have allowed 10 goals twice. And again, not a big hockey guy, not a big hockey expert, but I don't think I've ever seen 10 put up in a hockey game, and I've definitely not seen it twice in the first 15 games of the season. So, clearly things are not going well in San Jose. But I also have similar memories of the Sharks of, I remember when I was a kid or growing up, it was like the Sharks were they were a top 3 seed every year in the conference. And every year it felt like they were either losing in the first round or making it to the Western Conference Finals and then getting swept. And then I think the year that they actually did make the Stanley Cup, if I'm not mistaken, they got swept as well. So I could be wrong on that. Or they went 7 and lost.
Yeah, that was the 3-1 year for the Warriors. And all I know is they didn't win. Yeah. And then after that,
it's been, ever since then.
After that, it's been, hey, how are the Sharks doing? And
which brings up the time-old question of, would you rather, if you're not going to win the title, would you get as close as humanly possible?
Right.
Or would you rather just suck and not have any hope and maybe get, generational prospects up top?
Yeah, I mean... I think it feels like that's what's been happening to the Sharks after that happened, and where they, I think the last couple years really bad. So maybe they're starting to stack up and getting some guys in there like Joe Thornton and some of the names that we've been used to, and building a new foundation because the old one is definitely long gone. So shout out to the Sharks for getting their first W, and that's what happens when there's no sports. Yep. The Sharks lead the show.
Yep.
And there's no disrespect. I like I said, I like watching hockey live, playoff hockey.
Look, I've got a hockey sweater. Sorry, not a jersey.
There you go, not a jersey. I like watching hockey live. I even, Chris, as we continue to learn about each other, I even played a lot of hockey growing up.
Really? I can't even skate.
I did roller hockey growing up, and I was pretty nasty, I will say. And I didn't really do that much ice. There was a rink in Oakland and a rink in Dublin, which wasn't very close. So I did a couple camps, and then after that, okay, it's been good and fun. But I actually returned back to the rink in 2019 as an adult in an adult league.
That sounds dangerous.
Right before the pandemic happened, and then after that, it was over. But I still got it. This is all pre-Achilles. The whole time I'm just frying it, not knowing that this thing is just being singed over and over again. So shout out to the Sharks for getting it done. Like I said, great show going on today. Frankie Cardicelli at 11. We're actually going to do 2 segments with Frankie. We paid the premium. Yep. Frankie's going to stay with us.
Frankie Plus.
Frankie Plus. You got to get
subscription.
The Fruss, right? We got the Fruss package. So we got that going on. And, as we get into a little bit of the Lakers and the Raiders as well, did you see on Bussin' with the Boys, Max Crosby come out and say that story as far as, Josh McDaniels stood up and said, and the whole thing kept on escalating, right? The whole thing kept escalating, and it turned into, he stood up and said, don't talk about the Patriots like that. I know we sat here on this show and joked about it, but nobody believed that, right? Did you really believe he said, don't talk about the Patriots like that?
No, I really wanted to believe it because it's an all-time great story, but I figured that it went a little bit differently. Like maybe he did say it, but he said it more like in the back of his office, like, hey man, I just want to say thank you for having my back there. Great speech. And,
right.
If you ever talk about the Patriots like that again, you're gone. So good speech though.
Yeah,
that's how I assumed it went, but it turns out, he might have not even. He might have more just been like, "Don't talk about one of my teams."
Well, the thing is, if he had said it the way it was reported, in terms of, hey, he just said it to Antonio Pierce to the side, then who would have got that information? Right? How would anybody have
unless
heard?
Someone was ear hustling? But
it's just the whole thing was just bizarre to me. So I didn't believe it. The only thing that I believed could have happened was that maybe he said, "Don't talk." Maybe Josh McDaniels said, "Don't talk about one of my teams like that because my team went down. Don't talk about one of the teams that I coached like that. But don't talk about the Patriots like that. Come on now." That sounded crazy.
Kind of thinking about it either way, it's like, okay, you kind of missed the point of the whole rah-rah speed. Like, you should be more excited about the fact that I just possibly saved this locker room from imploding, and your biggest concern right now is I might have, by accident, thrown an accidental shot across the bow. That's really not important in a moment like this. So, and what's interesting too is the initial report from Jay Glazer was that statement from McDaniels is what led to ultimately Mark Davis saying, well, if you're not with, if you're so concerned about everybody else, we want people who are, thinking about us and not. So where does the falsifying of information begin in that story is, it's interesting for sure. But clearly something similar to the story happened. It's just, we don't know the exact specifics.
It's just the idea, the story that has kind of evolved into, he stood up and said, "You don't talk about the Patriots like that." That didn't happen.
I really wish it did, though.
I know you do.
I know
you do. And Max Crosby is a professional. He's not going to sit there and say, "Oh yeah, man, it was so embarrassing."
Guy's a bum.
Right. He's not going to do that. But either way, there was no way that he sat up there, he was going to sit up there. I just didn't believe. Josh McDaniels, not a good coach. Yeah. But I also think it turned into a bit of a meme, right? And it's now, Antonio Pierce riding in his Chevy. I don't know if you saw those.
I did.
His nice cars and all that, really just embodying that Raiders culture. And it's just Josh McDaniels, who, to be fair, all of this, bringing in Jimmy, apparently there was a report that Ziegler actually did not want Jimmy Garoppolo, and Josh McDaniels said, I know what I'm doing.
That's my guy.
So that's my guy, and he's only your guy.
Yeah.
So he, and some of the other guys that he's brought in, it has worked. So
for sure.
Not to say that They were all misses, but ultimately, I don't know what the over-under, and I don't even know if this is technically over-under. We got to get to a break, but chances that Josh McDaniels is a coach in the NFL again, eventually.
Just a coach, not a head coach. Oh, a head coach?
I'll put the number at 65%. You taking the over or under?
Oh, way under.
Okay, 35% then.
Under. I'm still going under.
Okay.
I think there's like a 5 to 10%. Guys, he is the only head coach in NFL history to get fired twice from 2 different jobs within the first 2 years. Everyone else has made it at least out of the first 2 years of their head coaching stops.
What about coordinator? What about offensive coordinator?
I think it starts at like quarterback coach. And then I mean, the only way he's getting, let's just call it, the only way he's getting the job is if it's with the Patriots.
Right.
That's what it is. Like or somebody who's of the Patriots, coaching tree, because I mean, that's what Josh McDaniels brings at this point, is just the Patriots name with him. And and I think we're quickly seeing that name probably doesn't hold the same weight.
Not the same, because you're not
the
the same without Tom. Got to get to a break, another name, and we can go up in against this as well. Better chance of being a coach again, Josh McDaniels or Nathaniel Hackett. I mean, these are some of the names that you just wonder, but it's the way he went out. That's the problem. The way he went out. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we are going to read off the Blazers roster for who is playing tonight, and we want to know how many guys do you recognize. And then we're going to talk about betting, and we got a couple, not necessarily betting, but a couple different ideas we have of what we will do if the Kings lose this game. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
As a business owner, outfitting your van fleet with Mercedes Sprinter vans is just smart business. Mercedes Sprinters qualify for a remarkably generous IRS Section 179 tax deduction. This means you literally can save thousands in tax savings. Family-owned Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a dedicated Mercedes van department with trained commercial vehicle experts ready to help you take on any job. See our selection of capable Mercedes vans at mbofstockton.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Nate behind the boards doing his thizzle, as we like to say. Chris Watkins on a Wasabi Wednesday. You're not going to want to miss 12:15, the most controversial topic that I have brought to the Sacramento airwaves. I thought long and hard about this. And I'll be honest with you, my wife said don't do it. She actually said don't do it.
Okay.
But you know what? I'm a grown man, and I'm going to do what I want, even if she says not to.
That always leads to success, right? When your wife especially is telling you not to do something, and your direct reply is, I'm a grown man.
I'm a grown man.
I'm going to do what I want.
And I'm going to do what I want.
I really hope she's not listening.
I hope she is. I hope she is, because you created this. Look around. Look around. Look around. We built this. We made all this.
None of this was here before we got here.
None of this was made before we got here. As we talk Kings a little later, we're going to talk LeBron complaining, because that's what he does. And he also has to talk about himself, because that's what he does. Frankie Cardicelli at 11:15, Sactown Sports Kings Insider will be in studio, in the stew with us, blazing the microphones. And a little later, we are talking Brock Purdy, the Niners, and ranking QBs. Who would you take Brock over? I got another interesting question as far as Brock Purdy is concerned. But for now, we're talking Kings and we're talking Blazers. And we're talking about, and you know what? Maybe I was a little disrespectful now that I've pulled up the roster. And maybe we should chill on, basically, I hit up Nate and I hit up Chris and I said, hey, with who is out for the Blazers, right? That's Anfernee Simons.
Yep.
Okay, another big money guy. Also, their new one, Scoot Henderson, out as well, right? And you have Wainwright out as well. With all these guys out, we should put a couple wagers. We even said, hey, maybe I'll buzz my eyebrows if the Blazers lose.
I got
right?
an idea.
If the Blazers win, if the Blazers win, I will shave my eyebrows. But I didn't use it as an example. I wouldn't do that. So I'm trying to think. We're gonna workshop here. We need your help. 916-339-1140. We're just trying to will the beam.
Sure.
We're trying to will a win out of the team. So YouTube chat as well. Text line. What will you do? How confident are you? What will you do if the Kings lose tonight? I'm not going to shave my eyebrows.
I definitely will not shave.
But I'm trying to think here.
I got an idea.
Okay.
I think, this is more on you guys. I'll do it too, but I think what we do for maybe a whole hour or 2 segments, cut a bunch of onions in there and just have them sit open, and you have to do a whole segment dealing with the onions distracting you.
That's going to smell, and Carmichael Dave and the Drive guys and Jason Ross are going to destroy.
Well, it's the Kings' fault then. Blame it on the Kings.
Right, because they stink.
It's not on us.
They stink, literally, if they lose. Let's read off the roster here before, not to get too disrespectful. Like we said, they got some big money guys, and even though you have Scoot, who actually hasn't played very well to start off his career anyway, Anfernee Simons, who a guy that I am pretty big on, he's not playing either, and Ish Wainwright, not a huge money guy, but, he's there as well. And by the way, Trey Lyles is not playing. We're going to get an update from Frankie as far as what that deal is, because Caps, they just scare me in general as somebody with an Achilles injury. So let's go through the roster, and let's not be too disrespectful. Okay. You got DeAndre Ayton. Does he move you?
Not really, but I'm interested to see how he looks in this Portland situation, because now that he's kind of removed from that Phoenix situation, I'm curious how, especially with everyone out, Anfernee Simons and Scoot out, like how big of a scoring load do they kind of put on his shoulders, and how much are they kind of banking on him realizing his talent? Because let's not forget, the Kings got murdered for taking number 35 Marvin Bagley, the third, number 2 in that draft. Let's not forget that the Phoenix Suns also passed on Luka, also passed on Trae Young, also passed on Jaren Jackson Jr., and took DeAndre Ayton at number 1.
Wow.
That's still a guy who's got a ton of talent, or was viewed as having a ton of talent at one point. He's an offensive weapon. He can get buckets really easily. It's going to be interesting to see him against Sabonis. But overall, I think this is like a perfect person for Sabonis if he wanted to make a physical statement and just kind of physically dominate a game. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Because DeAndre Ayton calls himself dominating.
Right.
DeAndre Ayton's it's horrible. He's a perfect center to go against if Sabonis really wants to kind of get a get-right game. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup together, and we'll see how it goes.
He's making the most money on the team.
Exactly, yeah.
32.
Well, there's no way he's making more than my guy Jeremy Grant now, is he?
Jeremy Grant is making 27.5. DeAndre Ayton's making 32.4.
That's crazy. Oh,
so DeAndre Ayton's making the most. It's the battle of two guys, let's be completely honest, that the outside narrative has said they could be a bit tougher.
Yeah.
Right? I'm not going to say the S word, but they could be tougher.
Yes.
So it's a battle of, hey, I'm not Charmin, I'm not Kleenex, which is which. So that's DeAndre Ayton for you. And quickly, another name, another guy who's not playing, and I feel bad, especially being on the Blazers with Brandon Roy and some of these guys that we've seen have these knee issues. Robert Williams, another guy out. And
I just saw that.
It's starting to look like
might not be.
It's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
He was already undersized too, and it's like you rely so much on your verticality and just your leaping ability in general when you're an undersized big like he is. And yeah, I mean, it's kind of like DeAndre Jordan. Like once he loses that little bit of leap, it's pretty much over.
It's curtains. So hopefully it's not curtains, but you look at guys like him and even Alonzo Ball, and this wave of guys that injuries are starting to derail their career. So hopefully he can get back, but he will not be playing tonight either. Going through the list, another very confusing guy. This is one of my top confusing careers to me. You know I love those. Malcolm Brogdon. I don't know what to do with Malcolm Brogdon. He's getting paid $22.5 million, right? He was supposed to be the savior for Boston. They threw him on the bench and continued to start Marcus Smart, which was just bizarre to me. He was supposed to be their point guard. He can get after it sometimes, so don't want to disrespect him.
Definitely not.
Moses Brown, another guy making $2 million. Tumani Kamara.
Never heard of him.
I
love basketball again. Never heard of him.
Jeremy Grant. So this is the guy that you got to worry about the most.
I would say
okay,
so, yeah.
27.5 mil. We know Jeremy Grant. And you know what? I'm really surprised that he was a name that has not popped up in more trade conversations. I know he just signed the extension and there's rules now that he signed it, but Blazers, what you doing?
It didn't make sense. I mean, the move at the time was maybe like hey, Dame, look, like we're still serious about winning. We just signed this veteran to a lot of money, or re-signed this veteran to a lot of money, like stay with us. And then obviously what ended up happening with Dame, they ended up pulling off the trade. Now it's just kind of like you're paying this guy $27 million, which is way too much money for him, to be on a bad team. And you're just essentially paying him so that you're not at the cap floor. I'm not a big Jeremy Grant guy.
I am.
I maybe would have if he were more near like the $20 million range, but just the $27 million, especially when Harrison Barnes signed for what he signed for.
He's better than Harrison
Kyle
Barnes.
Kuzma. But is he,
is he $7 million?
$10 million each year for the next 4 years better than Harrison Barnes? I don't think he's making that big of an impact on your roster.
I think we need to look at the stats because I feel like Harrison on this team isn't doing what Jeremy Grant is doing. But again, is he doing $7 million more?
Oh, you want to look at the
Barnes?
stats? Sorry.
Let's get to a break. When we get back, we will finish getting through the roster because there are a couple names on here that you never know. Maybe I won't talk about shaving my eyebrows because you never know.
Yeah, you just never do.
Like I said, we need baby's first beam. So I'm willing this into existence.
Yeah.
We'll talk about something, maybe more chocolate bagels. Maybe I'll eat a chocolate bagel.
Oh,
I'll eat a chocolate bagel with
some
jalapeno cream cheese if the Blazers win tonight. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Your Wednesday starts out nice and cool. Expect temperatures this morning down into the 40s as we head through the afternoon. Bright and breezy out there. Temps in the upper 60s to low 70s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
ABC Tonight. It's country music's biggest night. The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and Kay Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney. Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton. Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town. And more. The best in country music! Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host.
The CMA Awards live.
Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream next day on Hulu.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Nate Littlefield. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. Tonight, the Kings invite the Portland Trail Blazers to Golden One Center for some Pacific Division basketball. We'll have all your coverage right here on Sactown Sports, starting with game night at 5:30, tip-off with the G-Man at 7. For the 49ers in the NFL, Deebo Samuel's back at practice and claims he is 100% ready to go. Trent Williams is at practice too, but off to the side doing his own thing, and his status is still up in the air for Sunday's matchup against the Jacksonville Jags at 10 a.m., which we will also have all your coverage for. Don't forget, all callers brought to you by the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And your Sac State Hornets are home this Saturday for a 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are the headlines. Now back to Stiles and Watkins.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. 10th official show, double digits, and we're still doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Getting better, getting stronger in the gym, on that muscle milk, on that creatine.
Yeah.
You know, Nate plays rugby. Nate, you were on the creatine or muscle milk?
I played rugby. I did vaguely, but I'm not that into creatine, really.
Oh,
I think
pre-workout. You look like a pre-workout guy.
Yeah, a little bit. It
Little
makes me
C4.
psycho sometimes, you know?
I can
like,
see that.
seriously, I can't even I do like a half dose maybe sometime, but it just makes my face itch. It makes my ears.
Palm sweaty, mom spaghetti.
I'm getting all nervous thinking about it.
I
no,
never
you do
understood the pre-workout.
I had a
it
phase.
gets me like,
I had a
I don't
phase.
know.
I had a
mean,
phase.
I
It
gets
understand
me
people
strong.
like it, but it does itch.
Yeah, I had a phase, and it's gone now, but we are still here, Stiles and Watkins, 10 a.m., 2 p.m., as we read through the Blazers roster as respectfully as possible. And now that I'm reading through it, the Kings better not mess around.
Oh, yeah?
They better not mess around. Not the way that – I'll put it to you like this. They come out the way they came out against the Rockets on Monday, you could lose.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You could lose. You let Dominating actually try to pull off
Live
that
up
nickname.
to his name? Come on.
Don't want to hear it. And talking about being respectful of rosters and teams, 916-339-1140 if you want to be a part of the conversation. On the text line, getting a little disrespectful from the 916. Is this the game Keegan and Chris swap jerseys and teams without anyone noticing? Can it hurt at this point?
Bro,
Dang.
That's crazy.
Cold-blooded.
Especially considering I don't think Chris has really even gotten
I got the stats for you
many
right here.
minutes.
Just
Oh
because,
my
to see if
gosh.
anybody would notice. Keegan Murray averaging 12.8 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 35.8% for the field. We will round up here and call it 36. Chris Murray, 0 points, 0.5 rebounds, 0 assists, and he doesn't even have a field goal percentage. He's played in 2 games. He's played 5.5 minutes total.
He's played 11
So
total
let's
minutes.
chill out a little bit. I know there's a bit of trolling, and I love a good troll. But Keegan, he's struggling a little bit, but let's not be disrespectful to Keegan.
Yeah, let's relax, okay? Let's definitely pump
Be-
the brakes.
And let me tell you what, 916, you better chill out because you need Keegan.
Yeah.
This team needs Keegan. You're not beaming without Keegan.
No.
So you better hope that he does figure it out and that they don't swap because you really do need Keegan Murray to get back on track, specifically with, again, De'Aaron Fox out tonight against the Blazers. And who else is out for the Blazers? You have Scoot Henderson, who is out. Anfernee Simons, who is out. Robert Williams, who is out. And Ish Wainwright, who is out as well, as we go through their roster to see just how much the Kings could mess around and be in trouble tonight. We ended on a guy that Chris and I are trying to figure out what deviant or what type of I guess different version, right? You have your all your different versions of Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, for sure.
So which Harrison Barnes would
Jeremy Grant
be?
He'd be expensive Harrison Barnes right now, that's for sure. If I had to put one thing on him, it'd probably be expensive Harrison Barnes, or maybe like Yeah, I mean, probably expensive Harrison Barnes would probably be the one.
I like Jeremy Grant more than Harrison Barnes.
That's fine. You can like the variants more than the original source. It's just, he's just a different. It's more just so like spiritually, like Jeremy Grant's not doing it for you. Like he's never gonna be the guy that you want him to be. That's more what it is. Like he can put up better numbers than Harrison, but spiritually, at the end of the day, if he's your third best player, you're gonna need a better third best player. That's more what it is. Is that those guys? Every team that brings in Jeremy Grant convinces themselves that, oh, this is going to be a guy who's going to defend. He's going to hit threes. He's going to just change the way. A lot like how people talk about OG Anunoby. Maybe they're more so variants of each other than anything else. But I just don't truly believe that Jeremy Grant is a difference maker on any team. I think he's a good role player.
Right.
And I think that's where he's shown his most worth is when he was, in situations like he was with the Nuggets early in his career, with OKC early in his career. And it feels like people have just overvalued what he brings. And now we're sitting at a point where he makes $28 million a year for the next 5 years.
Well, I think, yes, a part of this is we did not think of him like this on the Thunder.
No,
right. And now
that
he's just been shooting the ball more on a bad team, all of a sudden people are probably, maybe I'm overvaluing, but I do think he is significantly, but I think significant, and I think that's where we differ.
Yeah.
But I did want to say, I said deviant, and that's I meant variance. We're talking completely different here. We're talking about variance here. So yes, of the variant of Harrison Barnes, that is Jeremy Grant. So next, Scoot Henderson, who isn't playing.
Yeah.
Today, after that, you have Chris Murray, who we just kind of joked about. Right. Chris Murray not really getting too many minutes right now.
In terms of scoring load, the three that really make me nervous for tonight are definitely, I think Shaedon Sharpe, clearly, just with how he's developed this year. Jeremy Grant, like you said, he's definitely somebody who's capable of putting up 25 to 30 points on any given night. And especially, a night like when you're going against the Kings and everyone else is out, it feels like that's prime for a Jeremy Grant 30 piece. Malcolm Brogdon too. Like we were just talking about Malcolm Brogdon.
Right.
With this team, he's not really, he's still pretty much their only true ball handler or point guard or facilitator. Crazy. But he can put up buckets, and if you let him kind of get cooking and get comfortable, he can drop 20 on you as well. And those are the guys that the Kings are going to have to slow down. Like again, it's you got to live with if I don't know. Who even can put up points besides those? DeAndre Ayton, Malcolm Brogdon, Shaedon Sharpe, and Jeremy Grant are going to score. If I had to guess, 80, maybe even more, 80% of their points.
Yeah,
like I don't think Skylar Mays is doing anything.
Matisse Thybulle,
Matisse can hit 8 points max.
He's a defender.
2 corner threes, and he can maybe give you a layup or some free throws.
When he's in, his job is to shut down who is it, Keegan or probably. Malik, somebody like that. So that's really his job. But here's the thing, man. Sitting here trying to be disrespectful or not, they're 3-4
for sure.
That's right in Kings range right now.
Yes, it is.
So
They got more wins than the Kings.
They got more wins than the Kings. So definitely cannot roll the ball out.
Definitely
You're at home. Golden one. You better be rocking. I know you want to see the beam, so you better be rocking, because if these guys sleep, right, this is an opportunity. Again, the Blazers are going to look at the Kings and say, this is a team on a 3-game skid. Yep. They don't have their top guy, and they don't have much of an identity right now. They can't hit the backside of a barn.
Right.
And if you're the Kings, you're thinking, this is a get-right game.
Absolutely.
This is a get-right game, and if I'm Mike Brown, I know he doesn't like to force it to anybody. I do think last game they made it a point to try to get Kevin Huerter going.
Yeah.
I would do the same thing tonight and just add Keegan into that mix and try to get these guys rolling. Sabonis is going to be Sabonis. He's going to get his touches.
Yep.
And really it's just going to be about, can you contain? A lot of people do sleep on DeAndre Ayton. You'll look up and he'll have a double-double.
Absolutely. Oh, almost. Yeah. That's almost a guarantee almost. Like, what I wonder too is how much leeway do you think Golden One Center gives the Kings today? Like
before booing?
Yeah, before booing. Like if they're going into the first timeout and it's 9-4 Blazers, are they walking back to the bench with boos?
If you're losing at halftime you got to be losing by 10 at halftime.
I really think it's first quarter boo birds could come out. I really think if they don't get off to a good start, people will feel because they haven't been able to voice their frustration. Ever since De'Aaron's been out, the Kings have been on the road, and so fans have not been able to give the Kings their direct feedback. And I really think that if they get off to a slow start, now I'm not saying obviously the crowd will just completely get out of it, but it just wouldn't surprise me if the Boo Birds come out early, if the Kings don't come out hot from the start, because frankly, there's no excuse. Again, there's no excuse for them to not come out to this game with the most energy they've had probably in the Mike Brown era. Like it really is that drastic of a look. We need a jump start. We need to hit that in Mario Kart when you hit the rainbow boost. That's what they need to hit that right now and just take off and continue at that speed. And I really do think it's that drastic that they need to come out with their hair on fire tonight. And I know I said that as well for Monday's game, but tonight feels even more so urgent.
Here's my not problem, but I guess question in terms of hair on fire. When you are at your core a jump shooting team.
Of course.
Now we're getting into a space to where defensively is one thing. You can come out very active on defense. Yeah. But offensively, we've already discussed how they're getting the most open looks. Shout out Deuce Mason, how they're getting the most open looks in the league. Mm-hmm. They're just not hitting them. So when you say come out with your hair on fire, is there an extra bit of, I'm going to focus more to hit these shots? You're not trying to miss.
No. When I say hair on fire, I more so mean I don't even mean energy. I just mean being sharp. And I guess that's almost counterproductive. So maybe I should just phrase it differently. But I more mean you got to come around those screens when you are running around a Domas screen and you're trying to come open up top. Run as quick as you can, but also make sure just be as precise as you can possibly be. The level of attention to detail needs to be at an extreme high. And of course, defense effort is the biggest thing that you can control. And it's okay if you miss all of your wide open shots, as long as you're defending on the other end. And that's what Mike Brown talked about a lot against Houston after the first game was just, hey, sometimes your shots aren't going to fall, but you can still win a game if you defend at a high enough level.
Especially against a team like this.
Especially against a team like this who, they don't have the belief. If the Kings put the Blazers down early, they're probably going to fold. There's no reason for them to believe that they have enough weapons to keep up with this Kings team. And I think that the worst thing the Kings could do is let the Blazers back in this game in any capacity. If they get an early lead, don't let up. Again, make this a statement game. Make this a game like what we saw last year when they played the Brooklyn Nets on national TV and it was 153-120. Just step on the gas and don't let go. That's ideal. That's in an ideal world, but I really think the Kings just need to come out and bring that defensive energy, but also just a level of focus on offense for sure, because I think it's clear that they're thinking too much on the offensive end and they just aren't flowing.
Yeah, and here we go right here. Blazers versus Kings. The spread, even without De'Aaron Fox.
Let's say 5.
It's 8.
It should. Okay. It probably should be. Probably not with how the Kings are playing, but I think that you're banking in all right, are the Kings really going to have another letdown game? Or again, is this going to be a game where the Kings understand that, again, home court, you got the streak, the losing streak coming into it. So it's got all the perfect recipe for a get back game. And the Kings just have to go out there and execute it. There's really no reason why they should struggle with tonight. I mean, even that spread is banking in, like you said,
figure it out.
Banking in the fact that De'Aaron's not playing.
Right.
That is a figure it out. Y'all should win by a lot regardless kind of spread.
Yeah, got to get to a break. When we get back, LeBron is complaining. Surprise, surprise. What? Stiles and Watkins on a Wasabi Wednesday. Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted, ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner.
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Hey, y'all. This is Bill with the Good Guys. Call Good Guys Heating and Cooling now. Tired of overpriced repairs? Call the Good Guys. Jaw-dropping quote for a new HVAC system? Call the Good Guys. Don't trust the other guys. Call the Good Guys. We offer free second opinions. Family owned and operated, always ready to serve the community. We offer the best service, best price, guaranteed. And that's no bull.
Call 530-GOOD-AIR. License number 1057-618. Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Honey, can you swing by the post office and grab some stamps?
Done.
And drop off these packages?
Sure thing, honey.
Oh, and get the tracking info.
Got it.
But you haven't moved.
I know. How great is that?
This holiday season, the Postal Service is closer than ever with convenient ship-from-home services like label printing, free package pickup, and delivery notifications. You can send more holiday joy from the comfort of home. The United States Postal Service, delivering for America. Ship from home at USPS.com/holidayjoy.
Guys, your testosterone level can impact your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Book your testosterone level check at Revive Men's Health, Sacramento. They're the local experts with guaranteed treatment for low T and ED. There are no lab fees, and all your tests are included when you start treatment. And many patients find Revive more affordable than their insurance deductibles and copays. Book your testosterone level check today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Carmichael Dave here telling you something you already know. Your time is important, and that's why at American Energy Heating and Air, they make shopping for a furnace easy with their new online quoting tool. Just go to AmericanEnergyAir.com, get an instant quote today. That'll help you determine what system you need to get and provide the best pricing options as well from the comforts of your home. Here's the thing. Nobody's going to come to your home. Nobody will come to your home. That's convenience. Visit AmericanEnergyAir.com. Check out how easy it can be, or if you want, give them a call and talk through what your needs are. Call 916-520-9990 today, 916-520-9990, or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Hang with us in 30 minutes. 30. We have Frankie Cardicelli joining us, Sactown Sports Kings Insider. He will be in studio for a couple minutes here, 2 segments. So that'll be fun conversation. 12:15. The most controversial topic I have brought
so nervous
to Sactown Sports on a Wasabi Wednesday. So we want you to be a part of that conversation as well. YouTube chat going off as usual, 916-339-1140. Call line, text line going crazy as usual. They want to Chris Murray and Keegan Murray swap because Keegan ain't doing a dang thing.
Stop it.
Not doing a dang thing. And you know who is doing something as far as complaining? That is LeBron and the Lakers, right? So LeBron, he claims that I think he did get called, right? The chosen one.
Yes.
He was infamously on, was it Sports Illustrated?
Yeah.
The whole King thing, though. I don't know who gave it. Did Brian Windhorst give him that nickname? Who gave him that nickname?
King James. I believe that was also like a Sports
Part
Illustrated
of it.
thing.
Part of it. So right. So he has the king tattoo. So LeBron has been spending a lot of time on social media, on Twitter, on X, and he, along with doing NFL.
Oh yeah, the NFL picks have been great. That's my
very
favorite
Magic
thing.
Johnson to me. It's not as bad as Magic Johnson on Twitter, but it's very similar.
You know what I love
it's
most?
Just LeBron.
Yeah, I love how even LeBron James, this billionaire, this guy who's done tons of different he's so nervous when he's doing, like, he becomes an actual human when he's like, how's it going, everybody? I'm LeBron James, and these are my week 15 NFL football picks. Like the Browns, and
they're not sponsored.
No,
they're not sponsored. He just feels like doing
loves Madden and loves NFL.
Right,
That's it.
right. He's into
Simple
it.
Man with simple pleasures.
I think it's pretty funny. So we'll talk about the Lakers complaining in a little bit because I want to get your thoughts on other teams complaining. It's not the first time. But LeBron said something. He's responding to one of these 1,000 million accounts, right? It's talking about if he went to the Heat, he wouldn't be this, he wouldn't be that. And LeBron goes, and I quote, "I would still be at this level whether I went to the Heat or not." He goes on to say, "I might not have as many rings, but dominance and quote unquote, whatever you call this level to be, I would still be there," which has caused a lot of conversation because LeBron is the biggest basketball player of this
he
generation.
called himself the Sun. He said, "I am the Sun," and everybody revolves. He quite literally said that, like, during this summer. It's he is. He really is. Like, everything revolves around that guy.
Do you believe what he said, that if he didn't go to the Heat, he would still be quote unquote at this level?
Absolutely, 1,100%. There's just no doubt in my mind that LeBron, like, this is. The Miami thing. Miami was just the vessel that he decided to use, and it made it easier for him to win championships for sure. But I have no doubt it might have not been 9 straight years or whatever the ridiculous number of consecutive finals appearances he had. But LeBron was inevitable. The man is Thanos. Like, there is no universe in which he would not have dominated this entire generation. Like, who else would have stepped up in those years?
Well, the only reason I don't agree with you. But the only reason I will agree with part of what you're saying is because they only got 2 out there.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not as if and what he did in Cleveland, right? So it's not as if he won 5 in Miami. He did only get 2. Now he went to 4? They were 2 and 4.
He went to
They were 2 and 2. They were 2 and 2.
4, yes.
Because JJ Barea had his number,
and then the Spurs,
and then Kawhi had his number.
Could argue they only. They were 1 shot away from only
having one.
Yeah.
Right. But with that being said, the way in which he did it and how polarizing it became, and I'm taking my talents to Miami and having Dwayne Wade and having Chris Bosh, and I know the Celtics did it, but this was different. This was LeBron taking control the way he took control. Now, you're not saying that LeBron stays in Cleveland. You're saying he goes somewhere else, right? But just specifically going to Miami, I don't think he's as big. I don't think he's as big because the Heatles,
the
Dwayne
villain
Wade,
arc was
the
really
villain
big.
arc. I mean, the hate watching and the rings, right? We don't know. Does he stay in Cleveland? Where else does he go? He talked about the Knicks. They're not winning nothing. Yeah. They're not winning. I mean, would have been him and Derrick Rose, maybe.
I mean, that's the thing. Who knows if, like, I mean, there's sliding glass doors of, like, what happens with Jimmy. Like, does Derrick Rose maybe stay a little healthier because there's not much mileage on his knees and not as much usage? Like, who knows? I just think that LeBron James, the talent, would have found himself in at least the conference finals, and if not the NBA finals, more of those years than not. And, like, is there maybe we're talking about him slightly different because Steph would have more rings than LeBron at this point. But
that pains you.
I notice. I'm just trying to gloss right by that one. I feel like LeBron has been, I mean, like he was the chosen one when he was in high school. Like, I think that this guy, he went to the NBA finals, let's not forget, before he was with the Miami Heat. He never won before he was with the Heat, but he still dragged a Cleveland Cavaliers team with second best player Mo Williams and Zydrunas Ilgauskas to a final series. So I think he still would have made the finals. I think he probably still beats OKC. I even wonder if if LeBron meets Dallas in a different situation in that finals, if it goes differently for him, because I think a big part of what LeBron was going through was just the passive nature of him, and also I'm playing with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Let me defer to those guys because those guys are
still
great
doing
as well.
now. He just did a couple days ago.
Yeah, he threw it to Cam Reddish for a game winner, which is just insane.
Not going to work.
So I think LeBron is still LeBron if he doesn't go to Miami. Definitely, it's a different story, but if anything, I think it's probably more romanticized, if anything. Like, I think LeBron has definitely created some polarization with the enemy arc that he went through in Miami, and I think a lot of people never got over it. And so I think if he doesn't do it, I think a lot of people are looking at him more as like this prophetic figure, as this guy who, again, was the chosen one, was supposed to bring championships, and he was Anakin Skywalker and then turned into Darth Vader. I think he just kind of would have been viewed more positively, but I think he still would have been the LeBron James that we know today.
So from a basketball perspective, I think LeBron still would be as dominant.
Yeah.
He would still be LeBron. I don't know if he has as many rings, but LeBron as a ultra super mega star without that villain arc, I don't think he's as big. I don't think he's as big. We did these numbers a couple weeks ago. Steph Curry, who is probably the second biggest star in the NBA, and I know I hate to take it, as the kids say, to Instagram, but LeBron has about 30 million more followers than Steph, which I found to be very surprising. Right. LeBron is in a different stratosphere because he is so polarizing. If he never goes to Miami, he's never as polarizing. And maybe if he doesn't do it the way he did it, maybe half of it is just the announcement.
Right.
Maybe if he just goes and writes a letter like KD, my next chapter, maybe it's different. So maybe it's less about the location and more about how he did it. Right. But without that villain arc, I think that the hate watching that came with LeBron, or the love affair that came with LeBron, because we talk so much about people that hate LeBron, as we see on the YouTube chat. You say 2 minutes on LeBron is too much. It's too much, and it doesn't help that now as Kings fans he's in the purple and gold. But LeBron and
one of our 2 wins right there.
One of the 2 wins with AD, right? Mr. Glass himself. Yeah. So when you look at LeBron and the emotion that comes off when you talk about LeBron.
For sure.
There are people like you that feel like that with Steph. You're also a Kings fan.
How's it going?
There are not a lot of people that feel like that with Steph. Yeah. And what's funny is that Kevin Durant really was very similar to LeBron. He didn't do it the same way. He did just write the letter in the Players Tribune, my next chapter, which still gets trolled to this day. He went to a worse situation than LeBron, but because Kevin Durant, he won a couple, now he left, and now he's in some weird vortex and trying to do something with the Suns now. Kevin Durant, he had the cupcake thing in OKC, but he was nowhere nearly as hated as LeBron has been. So I understand what you're saying from a basketball perspective, but without Miami, without hate, without
that's super interesting.
Without people having that feeling, right? Of how many people have you heard say, I mean, you can't deny what he does on the he does off the basketball court, but I don't like him. I just don't like him. Ever since the Miami thing is really and they've been saying that for years without it, right? And there's something to be said about I'm taking my control, I'm taking my power into my own hands, and I'm going to become a winner,
right?
Because you can say whatever you want. Those rings will be with me for history. You want me to stay in Cleveland? Because I was born in Akron, and even the kid from Akron, right? You want me to stay in Cleveland and lose? No. Yeah. And I didn't like it either. Nobody liked it, right? And that first NBA Finals when they lost, I cheered. I watched JJ Barea refuse to get posted up, and it was funny to me, right? And then once he finally did it, and then he comes back and he wins in Cleveland, he still brings something home. That arc, I think, not to compare to Michael Jordan, it's just completely different.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the conversation between LeBron and MJ is one of the best conversations in sports, because it'll never end. Because there are so many things you can pull and pick, and now LeBron's a scoring champion, and he might mess around and get one more. Who knows? He doesn't care.
Yeah.
He does not care. So, for LeBron to come out and say, I would be just as dominant, I think that's true. He also covered his butt by saying I wouldn't have as many rings. Okay, so are you Carmelo?
Right.
Or who are you?
Yeah.
So Yeah, I mean, and LeBron, he does a lot of talking. He's getting close. I know KD had burners. He's getting close to KD status on Twitter. You will find he's on NBA Central. These aren't even real. These aren't necessarily real accounts, and LeBron will respond to anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really great point that you bring up about the Miami thing, because I do think a lot of people do directly point to the decision as the thing that was the turning moment for them, and they just never looked back from it. Because, like you said, it's that exact quote has been said to me so many times.
So many times.
I love LeBron. Great stuff off the floor. Yeah, the school, the everything he does. Great guy. But yeah. It's ever since the Miami decision, I just didn't like how he went about it. I feel like he could have done it a lot nicer. He just left the poor people of Cleveland on red, and did it on national TV. And and also not to mention the fact that moment is the direct kind of launch point for this player empowerment era. Yeah. And what if LeBron doesn't have that moment? What does that mean for how people? Because people credit and also blame LeBron for that as well. Like it's become all of it is almost all is part of the LeBron conversation. All starts from that decision from that night,
which is crazy because we got to get to a break. Which is crazy because LeBron never broke a contract ever.
Yeah, good point.
He waits.
Yeah,
he waits
and he signs them. But part of that is because he's smart with how he signs his deals. He doesn't do, James Harden, I'll just sign a 4-year.
Don't ever put him in the same convo as James Harden.
He's just like, no, I'm just going to sign a 1-year deal because you guys might suck after this year.
And I'm out.
And
just like Thanos, I'm destroying planets.
Yep.
I'll take what I want and I will destroy the planet shortly after. Got to get to a break. When we get back, complaining about calls, sending in notes to the league. Do you like when teams do it? Would you care if your team did it? Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
I wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Kings basketball is back. Coming off an exhilarating playoff run last season, you don't want to miss seeing this team in action. Be there when De'Aaron Fox, Domantas Sabonis, new addition Sasha Vezenkov, and the Beam team take the court at Golden One Center. Plus, catch the all-new NBA in-season tournament games against the Thunder on November 10th and the Warriors on November 28th. Tickets for games this season start at just $18. So head to kings.com/tickets and together, let's bring the roar.
It's the first ever Elk Grove Kia Frozen Turkey Bowling Extravaganza on November 18th, 2023 from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. That's right, a frozen turkey becomes the bowling ball, and 10 liquid-filled plastic beverage bottles are your pins. It's not just bowling, it's an adventure. Knock down those pins. Each pin has a number attached to it, which means your skills can lead you to awesome prizes. And guess what? Each person gets 2 rolls, so you can aim for perfection. Now, how can you be part of this amazing event? Simple. Register at Elk Grove Kia for one of the 8 coveted spots through a raffle. But hurry, the registration deadline is November 17th, 2023 at 6 p.m. sharp. And here's the best part. No purchase is necessary. That's right. It's all about the fun and games. So make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall today for a chance to win a spot at the inaugural Elk Grove Kia Turkey Bowl. Rules and regulations at elkgrovekia.com.
Elk Grove Kia.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner.
Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level. Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Nate Littlefield. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. In NFL news, the 49ers' Deebo Samuel is back at practice and is 100% ready to go. Trent Williams is at practice too, but he's off to the side, kind of doing his own thing. And that means his status is still up in the air for Sunday's matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars at 10 a.m. And tonight, Kings invite the Portland Trail Blazers to the Golden One Center for some Pacific Division basketball. We'll have all your coverage right here on Sactown Sports, starting with game night at 5:30, tip-off with G-Man 7. Don't forget, all callers brought to you by the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. And your Sac State Hornets are home for a 2 p.m. kickoff on Saturday against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Jason Ross on the call for that. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are the headlines. Now we get to the second hour of Stiles and Watkins.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. As we discuss a little bit of LeBron, and that always gets the blood boiling.
Gets the people going.
It gets the people going. Need more cowbell. And LeBron James says he would be just as dominant if he never went to the Heat. And Chris and I don't disagree, but you definitely have more rings. And I think that if you didn't go to the Heat and have the Heatles nickname and all those types of things, you wouldn't be as big.
Yeah, I definitely think that, too, a lot of people were put off by him trying to, embrace the villain role when everyone was like, you're not Draymond. You're not a mean guy. Why are you trying to – it was just corny. It was like he was being placed in a movie or something, and he was just –
And now, and it just kind of bothers people, I will say, as we start to talk about how the Lakers complained and just teams complaining in general – when LeBron was at the ESPYs and he says, or was it, I think it was after he won the finals MVP for the bubble championship. And he said, give me my dang respect.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
He says that and then he fake retires. Right. And what it is that I think that it's very similar to people. And I would say guys in general that you hear and they'll say, I'm an alpha male.
Yes.
Right. Most alpha males don't have to say, I'm an alpha male.
Yes.
Right?
Great Game of Thrones quote. No true king has to say he's a king.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And LeBron continues to try to tell us and explain why he is the best to ever do it. He had this stupid king celebration after the crown. And he did it against it was a bad team. It was a bad team. So I don't really understand. I mean, I understand why he does it, but it's also, man, let your game do the talking for you. Yep. And he just refuses to do it. He refuses to just let it happen. And to be fair to him, I guess in his opinion, he's chasing a ghost.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing Jordans on my feet right now. If I see somebody wearing LeBrons with jeans, I'm going to tell them you need a makeover. People just don't, it's not it.
Some Zoom soldiers.
Some Zoom soldiers with some Jabos.
Oh
We're not going crazy with that. Zoom soldiers with some khakis is insane to me.
That's insane.
So you're chasing a ghost.
You
know, it's not going to work. You're chasing a ghost. So I understand why he feels like it, but I don't actually think he's helping his case. As we see Frankie Cardicelli in the booth right now. He will be joining us next segment for 2 segments at 11:15 to talk all things Kings. So the Lakers sent in a note, MLA format, a whole essay to the league about the missed calls against Miami. And the league came back and said, you're tripping.
Yep.
They came back and said, nah, bro, you're good here.
Yeah, this is insane.
We did not miss anything. There were no missed calls. LeBron goes on to quote tweet and say, the game isn't won or lost in the last 2 minutes. If you know the game, things happen throughout the first, second, and third, and first 10 minutes of the fourth. That has major, in all caps, impact on the outcomes. Do you have a problem? Do you have a problem with teams sending in notes to the league and complaining? I know there was a lot of there are other ways to do it. Yep. I know the flopping with the Lakers, the Warriors didn't. I don't think they sent. Did they send something in, or they just complain? Or Steve Kerr just said something
that one time.
Well, a long time ago.
The league is rigged,
and that still gets used to this day.
So great.
Just seeing this. Sorry.
Yeah.
Or just watching the game. Sorry. I don't know if it's for money or what. And now at the time, your husband was the reigning MVP.
Yes.
Right. And I get, in
the middle of a 73 and 9 season or whatever.
To be fair, the only argument would be, hey, we still want to make money off Jordan.
Yeah.
Right. So we want them to have the best team ever, but ridiculous. So teams are sending things in. If the Sacramento Kings, if it felt like they got, they didn't get a fair shake.
Yeah, which they rarely do.
And which Kings could send in an essay.
Yes.
Every single game.
There's a lot of videos that show how the Kings have been mistreated by referees.
So would you mind if, let's say today, things go a little squirrely?
Sure.
And you're thinking, man, this just didn't look right. Okay, even that Warrior game,
sure,
when the couple fouls, right, that we didn't necessarily agree with. Right. I thought
some non-calls at the end too. Draymond possibly traveled. I saw a video
and they
of that
said that was clean.
Later.
They said that. So they sent out a 2-minute report anyway.
Yep.
The Lakers sent in something completely different, saying this is all the things that y'all
second
missed.
Quarters.
Right.
Yeah,
this is all the things that y'all miss. It's a bit of snitching in a way, but do you mind if the Kings, let's say the Kings lose a game tonight that they need on some bad calls, do you mind the Kings sending anything in? Because the thing is, you can't change the game. You can't change the result.
I think, as a fan, I really wouldn't mind, I should say. I don't know if I care at all either way, but I think, if you really truly feel like you are being disrespected or you're being put in a difficult situation or a more difficult situation based off of calls that you have video evidence of that go wrong for you, I don't have a problem with bringing it to the league's attention. I would have a problem with it if the Lakers then, if they after the game make a statement about it and then they make a statement about, sending in the film, and then next practice they talk more about how, we're just trying to make sure that we're being officiated fairly. And then after the following game, they're continuing to talk about it. It's if you make it a part of the story. It's one thing to, again, behind closed doors, send it into the league and try and get a more even or a more fair whistle, and whether or not they oblige is up to the league or not. But if you're going to make it a whole big deal and say, woe is me, look at us, look how terribly we're being mistreated, when you're the Lakers, no, get out of here. Get out of here. And I'm looking at it right now. In terms of personal fouls, the Lakers are literally in the middle of the league. Right. They get called for the 17th most fouls in the NBA. There's 30 teams. They're tied. Actually, they're tied.
What about fouls against them? Because that was a whole thing. The free throws with the Lakers in the playoffs. It's just funny to me for the Lakers to complain about anything.
Yeah.
Because they're always in a good position.
Free throw attempts, Lakers are 7th in the NBA right now in free throw attempts.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about? That's what, again, especially when you're the Los Angeles Lakers,
Right.
you're really going to say the league has it out against you.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me why. Like, again, the Kings could have a reasonable argument for why they could possibly believe that the league has bigger interest in mind than themselves
The
winning.
Magic, the Pistons.
Totally. When you're the Los Angeles freaking Lakers
Yeah.
and you have the second most titles of any team in NBA history, the league is definitely not working against you, especially when you have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And we saw last year that they were a conference finals team, and I think the league was happy about that and better for it. There's no way. Like this is a rich kid saying that they want more tax breaks.
Right.
It's like what else do you want? You're already being fed with the silver spoon. We can't literally give you these results.
Yeah. Entitlement.
That's exactly
the
what it is.
entitled Lakers. Everything needs to go our way all the time. And and maybe it's because it's LeBron, I don't even see these reports that much about other teams sending in reports to say,
yes, to actually do the paperwork is crazy.
In a regular season game. So
we're at game 7.
We're at game 7. And on top of that, like we said, you can't change the result. So that's just, hey, don't forget, we're the Lakers.
Yeah. It's like
don't forget.
It's like the Mavericks contesting that game last year against the Warriors. I don't know if you remember that, but it was like, what exactly, like you're saying, like you're not going to change the results. They're not going to go back and start the game in the end of the third quarter and replay it from that point on. You're just kind of doing it to prove a point, and I don't really know what that point is.
I remember we got to get to a break. Franco Cardicelli up next.
Hey, that should be his rap name, Franco.
Frankie Cardicelli
Franco
up next.
Cardicelli
Sactown
goes
Sports
hard.
Kings Insider. And I remember a couple years ago when James Harden, remember he made a bucket and it whipped around, and the ref said that it popped out, but it went in the basket and then came around the other side, and they got the L. So it is what it is. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
What's the latest with the San Francisco 49ers? Carmichael, Dave, and Jason Ross keep you up to date on all things red and gold during the Niners at 9 every weekday at 9 a.m. on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of financing options and get free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals for huge savings today.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. 10th official show. We are in the double digits, and we are just getting started, just growing, just improving every single day. We're just in the gym. We're just getting our hacks in. That's what we do. We're doing work when the lights aren't on, okay? Because that's when you really get better. And that's what Frankie Cardicelli does as well, our Sactown Sports Kings insider. So, Frankie, before the break, I called you Franco, and then Frankie comes in and says, back home, they all call me Franco. I had a freeling.
It's a thing. No, it's Franco, Cardo, Frank. And people don't really call me Frankie, which I have to explain to people sometimes. But it's like just how I guess I see myself. I don't really think I'm a Frank yet. I think that's my grandpa.
That's definitely for your like mature age. When you're like 45 up, that's Frank.
And we were at a dinner for a wedding a couple weeks ago, and I introduced myself to someone that was someone's dad or something, and he's like, "How old are you?" I said 29. He's like, "You probably got about another year of going by that, son.
Frankie,
you might want to change that to Frank." No, man,
stop it.
It works better. It works better.
Well, you still have you're a smoothie right now, no facial hair. So I think you can go. I think you can go Frankie until you decide, hey, I'm going to rock the goatee or whatever. That's how I see it.
You guys have the beard games on
You can
point
get a
here.
mustache. Mustache would definitely be Frank.
Mustache or Frank.
That's Frank.
That's all I can fully grow is a mean. Maybe it's an Italian
Makes
thing. I don't know.
sense. Yeah. Maybe it's a
mean
Frank
mustache. I think it's a Frank thing. Yeah,
Whenever
for sure.
you decide to go that route, you will be Frank.
Yeah.
Okay, I might have to. I don't know if I have to put like Rogaine on my face to go with facial hair.
You
but
might never be Frank.
I
You
might never be Frank.
Which is, this worse things than looking young, Frankie.
That's all right. I'll survive.
There you go. So let's hope the Kings survive and get a W tonight. We were joking around about the Blazers roster and what we would do, talking about shaving eyebrows and eating chocolate bagels with jalapeno cream cheese if they lose. But then all of a sudden, Frankie, I'm gonna be honest. You look at the roster, and the Blazers, in terms of the West, that's a stacked West, and the Blazers are missing a couple of their big guys today. They're missing Scoot Henderson. They're missing Robert Williams. They're missing Ish Wainwright. And they are also missing
Anfernee Simons.
Anfernee Simons,
Big player there, yeah.
So the Kings are favorited by 8, right? So I don't know if I would take that, and I don't really care. I just want a Kings W. How should Kings fans feel about the Kings going into tonight?
Yeah, I think that it's definitely too early to be, in my opinion. I mean, you can feel the way you want to feel, fan however you want to fan. I'll never tell you how to fan, but I personally feel it's too early to be concerned. I think there are reasons to kind of, players keep an eye on, but 6 games in the last season, the Kings were also 2-4. I mean, and that was after an 0-4 start. So I think they were 3-6 after 9 last year. So you don't like losing games. It's never fun to lose games or watch the Kings, who were so much fun last year, kind of sputter out of the gates here, and not much beams, obviously. So that's never fun for the fans. But I think tonight, on paper, which I guess you can say the same thing for the Houston games, but it's another opportunity to kind of see if these guys can find the bottom of the net. And I'm looking mostly at Keegan Murray, who's shooting 26% from 3 right now. Kevin Huerter, his struggles have been well documented. He seemed like he was kind of coming out of that stretch against the Lakers, and he kind of fell back into another rough stretch. And obviously the whole team did in Houston, granted. But there's the good thing is there's a lot of room for improvement. And that is honestly something I think Matt Barnes said yesterday with Whitey and Draper, that it's kind of like a perfect storm of your best player is out in De'Aaron Fox, who's averaging 30 points per game. Then all of the guys that are starting are struggling. And by all of them, I mean, all of them are struggling.
Right.
And maybe not in the same area for everybody. I mean, Harrison Barnes has had, I think he's 2 rebounds per game right now. That's a concern, but there's a lot of room for improvement, and that's a good thing.
Alan was talking about yesterday, and I think it's a great, I really do believe it as well. Do you like the fact that, I mean, of course it sucks that De'Aaron's not able to go tonight. Clearly the team needs him, but in a way, isn't it, I don't want to say good, I'm trying to pick the right word, but it's not the worst thing that De'Aaron's not back, because part of me really does want to see this group figure it out. And it kind of feels like this group kind of has to figure it out, because they're going to have to win without they should not, if De'Aaron Fox is this important to this team, that's not a good sign for things. So in a weird way, is it not the worst thing that De'Aaron's not going to be able to go again tonight?
I mean, timing's everything, right? And I feel like when you look at the time of the year this is happening, and that was something we wondered a lot last year, what would the Kings be like if they lost Fox or Sabonis for a long stretch? And we thought we were going to see it when Sabonis broke his hand. Didn't happen, but we're seeing it with Fox right now. In 4 games, it's felt like an eternity, because, again, the starting lineup has just not worked. And I'm kind of putting a lot of emphasis on Davion Mitchell, who is in his 3rd year, and his splits as a starter have decreased over the past couple of seasons. He was very strong as a starter in his rookie year, but that was at the end of the season when I believe De'Aaron had COVID and missed the final 8-9 games, and he averaged like 18 and 8 over those final 8 games. And picked up
good time.
The Davion stock was high, and we know what he can bring on the floor as a defender. But the Kings' offense, and this isn't just Davion's fault, but he is the head of a snake as the point guard. He's bringing the ball down. They've looked just completely out of sync, and they're forcing 3-pointers late in the shot clock. They're not running crisp sets on offense. The passing has gone down. I think they're 28 assists down to 21 without De'Aaron. Literally, De'Aaron, the hole that he left behind. I think you talked about it, the offense yesterday. They're down 30 points in offense. De'Aaron averages 30 points per game. They're down 7 assists, and De'Aaron Fox averages 7 assists. So I'm not asking I don't think anyone's asking for Davion Mitchell to come in and replicate those numbers, but there's just not much that he's bringing to the table right now, and I think he's got to dig deep and see if he can kind of lead this lineup and starting 5 in the right direction.
I know we discussed, and we're talking with Frankie Cardicelli, Sactown Sports Kings insider, and I know we discussed how they got off to a slow start last season, right? But I saw something from Cameron Salerno, and I at least wanted to throw it to you. Now, De'Aaron Fox did play during those games last year that they did lose, but the Kings last season, this is the tweet right here, the Kings last season lost their first 6 games by a combined total of 35 points. They were competitive in every game. They lost by 18 Saturday and 25 on Monday. They are not competitive. Now, De'Aaron did play in those games, but is it too easy to just say, well, they started off slow last season, which a lot of people are doing because it makes us feel good?
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, that's easily, I mean, it's an excuse for how long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. And right now, yeah, sure, they did start 2-4 last year. But if
it's a fact.
It's a fact. It's a fact. But if they lose tonight to Portland, who is seen as a lottery team, with, again, their whole roster, sans Fox and Lyles, who are big pieces, are 2 of your top 7 last year, yeah, that argument or that kind of cushion is going to start to go away.
Yeah.
And I think that it kind of comes down to last year. Yeah, those losses were close. Kings played some tight games. They lost a couple. The Kevin Huerter foul, the 3-pointer. Yeah. There was a lot of controversy.
Tyler Hero travel.
The Tyler Hero travel. Yeah, two of the first 6. I know.
Send it into the league. Send it into the league.
You're opening up some wounds.
Yeah,
I don't want to read another 2-minute report after that last year made me sick. But these are a lot different. They're getting completely worked. They got embarrassed back-to-back games. And could that be a matter of the Kings, who it's been widely said by a lot of people, they're not going to be viewed the same way. They have a target on their backs this year. They're not a surprise. They're not the feel-good story anymore. They're a team that finished 3rd in the West, and they went to the playoffs. No one's going to look at them as, the cute up-and-coming team that's been bad for 16 years. They're going to come after them. And that kind of does change things, and maybe teams have adjusted to their offense and what they're trying to do. But they have too much talent. They have too many good players in that starting 5, and as well as the bench, Malik Monk and all those guys, that they can't let what happened over the weekend in Houston happen again.
We like to do a blame pie. We did a blame pie yesterday for kind of like who deserves the most blame for why the Kings are playing the way they are right now. To put you on the spot, if you had to give it to one person, just in terms of not even necessarily blame, but just with De'Aaron out, it would have been you would have looked at them to be the ones to step up the most, whether it be Davion directly replacing him, whether it be Keegan, with the jump he's supposed to make this year. Domantas Sabonis, who had 4 points and was an all-star, all-NBA player last year. Who would you put as the guy that you feel like you're most disappointed hasn't stepped up with De'Aaron out?
I'll say I don't know if I expect this player to be the best, but I'm most disappointed that he hasn't been more aggressive, and it's Harrison Barnes. I mean, that's some
love it.
We've said this all the time. When Harrison Barnes plays well, the Kings play well.
And dry.
Opening game, 16 field goal attempts, 32 points. Great game. He has not taken over 9 field goal attempts since the opening night in Utah. And that for a guy who's so useful in offense, who can knock down threes, and again, his 3-point shooting has not been a concern. He's shooting 38% from 3, low volume. But when Harrison Barnes gets downhill and goes into the paint, which the Kings have not been doing much work in the paint, he gets to the foul line, he converts. I mean, he's a good offensive player when he's trying, and it might not be all his fault. I mean, Keegan Murray's taking a lot of shots. Kevin Huerter's trying to work through some things, but tonight, I'd like to kind of see if he can attack. I'm probably Jeremy Grant, who's a tough defender, but just get more involved. See if he can get more involved from HB, because he can be a very useful player when he's on.
Chris has different variants of Harrison Barnes. So I asked Chris, what is Jeremy Grant? And Chris said, expensive Harrison Barnes. So I do think it'll be a good matchup, because I think Jeremy Grant is better than Harrison Barnes. Chris does not think. Chris thinks he's better.
They're same, but different.
Right. Better, but not 7 million more different, which is what the difference is in their salaries. Got to get to a break. When we get back, we're breaking it down with Frankie Cardicelli, Sactown Sports Kings reporter. Who needs to get benched? That's the question. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how a collision can turn anyone's life upside down in a heartbeat. So remember to be a little more alert on the road and stay safe. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777.
Model Year End pricing is back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
During the Model Year End event, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make lower payments. It's no wonder why Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop. Come in today or check out our entire inventory online at folsomlakehonda.com.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at folsomlakehonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from TruckSmart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since TruckSmart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. TruckSmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
Your defending Big Sky champion Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday afternoon against the Cal Poly Mustangs. It's Military Appreciation Day at Hornet Stadium as we honor our local heroes. And don't miss the pregame flyover as kickoff is set for 2 p.m. Let's pack Hornet Stadium for the final regular season home game of the year as the Hornets strive for a 4th straight trip to the postseason. Don't miss any of the action or excitement of Hornet football. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from and the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
Guys, your testosterone level can impact your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Book your testosterone level check at Revive Men's Health, Sacramento. They're the local experts with guaranteed treatment for low T and ED. There are no lab fees, and all your tests are included when you start treatment. And many patients find Revive more affordable than their insurance deductibles and copays. Book your testosterone level check today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Gobble, gobble, folks. It's that time of year again when the leaves fall, and so do the prices at Elk Grove Kia. We're bringing you Thanksgiving early with deals that'll make your wallet say thanks. This fall, our lot is stuffed with the latest Kia models, and we've carved out incredible savings. Get your hands on a brand new Kia with Elk Grove Kia's award-winning reliability and service you can trust, unlike your Auntie's dodgy broccoli casserole. Don't wait until the turkey's on the table. Come to Elk Grove Kia and feast on the best deals this fall. And don't worry if you have challenged credit. Our finance team has over 100 years of experience. They may or may not have even helped a pilgrim or two get qualified. So hurry on down to Elk Grove Kia, where the prices are falling faster than Uncle Bob falls asleep in front of the football game at Thanksgiving. It's the Thanksgiving sale going on now at Elk Grove Kia, located in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Or check us out online at elkgrovekia.com. Elk Grove Kia, where the only thing bigger than our savings is our gratitude for our amazing customers.
Elk Grove Kia.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Nate Littlefield. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. For the 49ers in the NFL, Deebo Samuel's back at practice, and he says he's 100% ready to go. Trent Williams, on the other hand, he's at practice, but he's off to the side on his own. His status is still up in the air for Sunday's game, his status being Trent Williams, against Jacksonville Jags at 10 a.m. Your Sac State Hornets are home this Saturday for a 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. You can get your tickets at hornetsports.com. But tonight, the Kings invite the Portland Trailblazers to the Golden One Center for some Pacific Division basketball. We'll have all your coverage right here on Sactown Sports, starting with game night at 5:30. Scott Marsh, Henry Turner. Tip-off with the G-Man, 7 p.m. Don't forget, all callers and all guests are brought to you by the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Speaking of guests in the Kings, right now, we have our insider, Frankie Cardicelli, for the next 15 minutes on Stiles and Watkins.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, joined by Frankie or Franco.
Hey.
Cardicelli, Sactown Sports Kings Insider. So what part of New York are you from?
Right next to Tommy DeVito.
This is actually right. You know what? This actually brings up a good point for me because I don't know how to explain it. Hang with me here.
Okay.
But he was on UConn, and UConn just won, and it came out.
Gino Auriemma.
No, and he won Jordan Hawkins. So Jordan Hawkins, really nice. The Pelicans had him, they brought his ring from winning the championship to practice, right?
Interesting.
And I looked at him, and I was trying to remember, his story, because, you watch March Madness, and it all happens so fast. And he just has a look about him. I'm wrong because he's from Maryland, right? Yeah. But he just looks like he's from New York. He just a look about people that Frankie looks like he's from New York. I don't know what it is. He's wearing a Sactown
He's a Yankees fan.
Yeah,
but that helps.
There's a look.
Rangers,
Am I
New York
crazy?
Rangers fan.
New York Rangers.
Am I crazy? If you can look at somebody and say,
does this help
you're
here?
from New York.
Yeah. How do I do this? Is that
right? I didn't even see the chain.
Pulling a chain out for people on the radio.
You just look like you're from New York. I've met you. And maybe it's the name Frankie.
Is that status?
I think it's a
What
name.
Is that? Like, that's not racist,
It's
obviously.
the name
Status,
as well.
But if my name was like, I don't know, Mark Johnson.
But you looked like that.
I would look like this. It would be, okay, this guy's from Yuba City. Because I'm from Yuba City.
Yeah.
But my dad's very, happy to be an Italian-American. And his dad's name was Franklin Delano Cardicelli.
He's definitely from New
My
York.
dad's name was Michael Angelo. And I'm Franklin Angelo. So it's like very just, and by the way, never been to Italy.
Of course
not. Right.
Been to New York a couple of times.
Sure.
I did have some family that did live out there for a period of time, which, was cool. But I'm a Yuba City guy.
You make a mean antipasto?
I do make some good pasta. I do make some good pasta. Not antipasta, but I do make some good pasta.
Okay.
I'm just saying, isn't there a look?
I agree.
I could see somebody and say, you're from New York.
I don't have any prejudice, so no.
So if his name was Mark Smith, like he said, or whatever, I
think I would still feel I wouldn't be as confident because you can't be more confident than Frankie
Cardicelli.
Can
you say the last name?
Cardicelli.
Okay.
I did ask. I did ask.
Our old friend. Remember our old friend Morgan Reagan?
Yeah, that drop is somewhere.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
If you find it, let me know. But she really. I knew her for months, and she butchered my name
completely butchered
over and over.
It just
it was worse because she was like, "Oh my god!" Like we're so lucky to have like such great content people, like our guy Frankie Casparelli. Like it's great.
That's the thing.
That person is still from New York, though.
Being friends with people and like not being able to say your last name is crazy.
Yeah.
Like if I'm friends with you for a while, and it's like,
right.
Chris. Good to see you, Chris.
No, but how many times do you say,
CW?
hi, Chris Watkins?
Well, never, I guess, because his last name, I guess that's not a good example.
Yeah, but I feel like, when you differentiate, especially with Chris's, it's like,
right.
You almost have to know their last name.
It's not even that difficult. Now, once I learned, Frankie Cardicelli, and then I did call you Franco. But
yeah, no,
that's fine.
We won't get there.
I am a good speller. It's besides cauliflower. All right, as we talk Kings, Sacramento Kings, I asked a question, and if you were listening to the Drive guys yesterday, it got a little hot in here, and as you may hear me and Chris talk about, it's normally a little chilly in the studio, but it was... It was a little blazing.
Yeah.
It was a little spicy on a Wasabi Wednesday, a little spicy between the Drive guys talking about what could change and who should be benched and who needs to continue to play. So I want to get both of your thoughts on that. Me personally, I've already said that I don't want to see Davion start tonight. I'm ready to see Malik Monk. I'm ready for that because it can't get any worse than a 40-burger to the Rockets. So that's how I feel. Besides that, I just don't know who else could ride Pine because everybody else isn't playing well. And you joked, Alan, are you about to say JaVale for Sabonis? No, I'm not trying to say that. That's the thing. You're kind of stuck, right? You're stuck everywhere else. Would you like to see any changes? You said it's still early on. Should they continue to rock with Davion and the gang? What should the Kings do?
Yeah, I mean, I think right now, from what the personnel that is available, that's the only move you can make. Is if you're going to make one change or any change, Malik in the starting lineup, it honestly seems like a good idea in my opinion. I mean, that's how I feel. I think that the skill set that Malik Monk has and De'Aaron Fox has, they're different in a couple of ways, sure, or a lot of ways, but Malik Monk's ability to create off the dribble, to find teammates, he's been a very good passer over the last 2 seasons with the Kings and with the Lakers. His assist numbers like doubled. He's a dynamic scorer. The Kings missed their dynamic scorer out of the backcourt. And right now, both of their guards, Davion Mitchell and Kevin Huerter, are struggling. And I don't know if it gets to that point. Mike Brown is kind of stubborn when it comes to lineup changes, and he is a believer in the 5 on the floor at the end of the game are more important than the 5 at start. There's been an argument and some discourse on social media about that too.
Not on Monday.
No, there's been and it's a valid argument. Like the 48 minutes all matter. Like every one of the 48 minutes matters. So if you start someone and your starters, lay an egg in the first 7 minutes, that could hurt you, and it did hurt them. I mean, it didn't really matter, I guess, in the end because they got completely ragdolled. But I think when you look at Trey Lyles, like if he was playing and he was healthy, and the Trey Lyles we know, maybe there's a discussion like maybe Harrison Barnes and Trey Lyles at some point, because I've talked to Chris about it maybe before. I think the show started. That I think that the long-term plan, in my opinion, is that Harrison Barnes will be a bench piece in the next 2-3 seasons. He's on a 3-year deal. Ideally, the Kings want to upgrade that position. So whether it be by going to the bench or a trade, I feel like that would be the long-term plan, because you need, in my opinion, again, a 4 or 3 that can be dynamic. Look at the Pascal Siakams, OG Anunobies. Those are the popular ones, but someone that can play alongside Keegan Murray. There's no one there that can fill that hole right now or fill that void. The only move you can make is Malik Monk or Davion Mitchell, and that kind of feels like the Kings are they have their hands tied right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll build upon that because I completely agree with everything you said. Like, I think that's when you look at the guys who even can be replaced, to your point, that you got the 6'8", as somebody in the chat called them the other day, Harrison and Keegan. The Kings don't really have anybody else to go to realistically. And it was kind of I wouldn't say problem, but it was a conversation that we had in the playoffs as well of, okay, Keegan's struggling. Okay, Harrison's struggling. The problem is there's nobody on the bench that realistically has earned that starting spot. And that's not the case with how many great guards the Kings have this year. Like Davion's struggling. There's a list of great guards on the Kings bench who make sense to put in, whether it be Malik, whether it be Colby Jones who's produced, whether it be Chris Duarte entering for Kevin Huerter, or even Keon Ellis can enter the chat as well. Like, I think the difference with replacing Harrison or Keegan, or why it makes the most sense to look at Davion as the one that's out, or even Kevin Huerter as the one who steps out, is just because of the guys that can potentially replace them actually makes sense entering the starting unit. It doesn't make a lot of sense that Harrison Barnes scored 3 points yesterday, so we're going to go with Sasha Vezenkov, who has also struggled and hasn't really shown.
If he was on a heater,
starting lineup,
we could have that conversation.
Exactly. And it's just nobody on the bench at those other positions has really played well enough to warrant entering the starting unit.
There's really nobody. I mean, Colby Jones has played well and Keon Ellis played well. I don't think anybody else is really playing well right now for the Sacramento Kings, which is honestly an insane thing to say. Crazy. I don't think anybody else is playing well. Sabonis had a bad couple of games. He got bullied down low by Şengün, who I think you're a big Şengün guy, aren't you? Or is that Brendan? Yeah. Brendan too, I think.
Brendan's bigger than I am.
But my goodness, that guy is going to be really good. And we kind of got to see that in full force the other night. But it's very, and I guess to kind of bring it back together with some positives, that could be a good thing in the long run or the short term, because the Kings they have a lot of room for improvement. Like these guys are all playing horrible.
Yeah.
So tonight, I mean, if you shoot 35% from 3, that's a step forward.
That's what I've been saying on the post games. I'm like, if there's any positive, it's that they're shooting so bad that they cannot literally continue to shoot this bad unless they're going to be just a historically terrible team. Odds are that there's going to be some pendulum shift to the other side that evens everything.
If Keegan goes 2 for 6 from 3 tonight, his 3-point percentage will go up. That's a fact.
That's wild.
That's insane.
But I believe
forward.
it.
That's
But I believe it. Frankie, before we get you out of here, do you have any type of update? And like we said, definitely didn't want to see De'Aaron Fox today because you shouldn't need him. No disrespect to the Blazers, but do you have an update on De'Aaron and when we will see him back on the court?
Or Trey Lyles.
Because what the heck is going on there?
Yeah.
I mean, Trey, the last time we saw him, and again, there wasn't practice yesterday. Our colleague Brendan Nunez is at shoot around right now. They usually don't give us updates at that point. Could be wrong. I'm not seeing anything right now. But De'Aaron Fox doing some on-court work in Houston, which bodes well. He looked a lot more mobile. He definitely had a limp when we saw him last, getting some on-work practice, kind of doing some stationary shooting. But I know he wants to come back, and it seemed like that was more to kind of, we saw Rasay Fox on social media saying that he wants to come back for you guys, as in the fans. And I think that when the fans kind of went out and said, hey, like, take the time to rest, I hope that he took that to heart because the Kings need him long-term. Yeah. So he's working his way back. I wouldn't expect he's out too long. Trey Lyles was doing some return to competition conditioning, and he looked like he was really getting after it. He was out of breath during the last time he talked to the media, like really getting after it. So I think they're being really cautious with the calf strain because that really can take a long time to heal if you don't let it fully, heal and come back at 100%. So my guess is these guys will both be back in the next week. I mean, hopefully before Friday, right? Because that's a big game. Or is it a big game? It depends. Depends on how you look at it.
It is a big game because them boys are not messing around in OKC. I like that team a lot. That's a very similar situation to the Kings, to be completely honest, and a little younger.
For sure. But the point is, these guys are not far off. I mean, there hasn't been any news of setbacks. It's just a matter of can they get to the point where they're healthy and they're not going to have this be a prolonged injury because that's the last thing the Kings need. But the fact that it's this early in the year, use that to your advantage and get right. I mean, the Kings aren't in a crazy hole right now. They're 2-4 through 6 games.
So. Yeah. Got to get to a break. That was Frankie Cardicelli.
Thank you.
I was with Franco there.
You can call me
Franco.
Okay.
You can call me would have been okay. Thank you, Frankie.
Cascarelli.
There it is.
Frankie Cascarelli.
Thanks, Morgan.
Sactown Sports Kings Insider. Follow Frankie on Twitter or X. He does great work for us. We'll be right back talking about what you will do if the Blazers win. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Has Monty put together a roster that can help make a deep playoff run this season?
Just trying to give coach options, give him guys that can help us win in a variety of areas. Obviously, our top guys are going to play every game, but there's going to be other times, whether it's injuries, matchups, we've got to have some variety on the bench for coach to point to and say, go in there and help us win.
Tune into every Kings game this season
on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call, then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill is turning me into a pro. Napoleon Grills has features other grills can't match. They're built different, built better, built to last, complete with a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. All made with premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Just go to Napoleon.com for your nearby Napoleon Grills dealer. Napoleon Grills. Now is the time for the best selection of grills and fine accessories for the holidays.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's trypie.com.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
The game of football is about pain. Ever since I was 5 years old, it's been all about football. It's been about running, jumping, blocking, tackling. I stopped playing at 31.
You're listening to Michael Robinson, retired pro fullback.
I thought that foot pain was going to be with me for the rest of my life. I'm so glad I met Good Feet. I'm so glad that those arch supports are in my shoes. I have terrible foot issues that prevented me from really having a normal life with my kids. With the Good Feet arch supports, man, I'm always ready. My kids actually got to enjoy me in the yard more, racing each other, backpedaling, teaching them some things, being a dad. If I had known about the Good Feet arch support earlier, I would have more than one championship. I would have 2 championship rings.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Stockton, Modesto, and Vacaville. Cooler temperatures mean it's time to reduce your outdoor water use. Water 1 day per week on Saturday or Sunday from November 1st through February 29th. Learn more about your home's watering schedule at sacwaterwise.com.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m., 10th official show. Ooh. Thank you to Frankie Cardicelli. Of course, I nail it as he leaves.
I know, as he's gone.
I still like Franco, though.
Franco's great.
I think I'm going to rock with Franco. Frankie will be in the building tonight, getting even more information and taking it all in, as you will be in the building tonight as well. I'm taking the night off. I will be watching on the television. You know why?
You got to be there for your baby's first beat.
Baby's first beam gotta be there. And you know why I am not going tonight, on top of it being the JV Blazers.
Big Anfernee Simons guy?
I am a big Anfernee Simons guy, actually. That was another guy I would compare to Jordan Poole and Tyler Hero.
For sure.
Tyrese Maxey, all in the same pile.
Yeah. He's like a pocket pool.
I know you just have the dogs and cats at this point in your life, but for those wondering, we are introducing solids tonight to the 6-month-old.
Really?
Got some sweet potatoes. Gonna boil those up, mix them up, and it's a big deal. It's
I can imagine. Yeah.
So be introducing solids and hopefully watching our first beam tonight as a family.
Wow. I haven't even thought about that as like a process of having
I never did
child.
either.
Yeah.
I just thought it
really is a big day. Like, it makes sense. But
yeah.
Like, how do you prepare for that? Like, did you do some research? Is it just
the pediatrician, which we need to find a new one now that we're up here, but the pediatrician says, hey, it's about that time, 6-7 months, you'll be able to tell. And, you really can tell because she just stares you down while you're eating food.
Yeah. It's like a dog at that point.
Yeah. It's like, come on, dude. You're sitting here eating tacos and burritos right in front of my face. Can I get a little something here?
Nah, just that mush.
Yes. It's better than what, it's an upgrade. So introducing solids tonight. So that is my party night.
Good. Does that involve luck? Should I say good luck with
I don't
that?
know.
Is that
I don't
like
know. Apparently, not to get too graphic. Apparently,
it's probably later.
Once
that's the problem.
We're gonna figure out how it went later in the evening or tomorrow morning. So that's what I got planned.
Okay.
I will keep you in the loop. I will keep you in the loop. Stiles and Watkins taking you up to 2 p.m. And one thing I will say quickly, and I wasn't looking at your phone, right? I wasn't.
Okay.
So I've me and Chris have talked because I am a super texter. I will text you back extremely quick.
Yes.
Chris is the opposite.
I'm trying to be better.
Chris,
Can I
you
say
have been
that
better.
I'm trying to
and
be
I
better
just want to
for
say,
you.
I just want to say, we were sitting at the game. Right, it was the Laker game, and I'm just, we're it's a tight
Very
space.
tight
We're right
spaces,
on top of each other, and I happen to glance over at your phone. Chris, I saw 46 messages, and you gave me anxiety, man. What is this?
Let's try I only have 16 right now, if it helps.
How?
Can I tell you what even makes it so much worse?
What?
Is that like probably 30 of those were happy birthday texts that I just never got to.
Wow.
And it's like like my aunts, like I'm talking, friends that I see sporadically, and I definitely should try and keep more tabs on and stuff like that.
You gonna respond still?
No, I decided that it was too far gone. Like it would have felt weird if my birthday was on Thursday, if on like Sunday morning I was like, thank you,
I've done
and that's it.
Yeah,
like it's just hit, because honestly it all stemmed from an initial wave of anxiety where it's like, okay, like I'm getting all these birthday texts. Am I really gonna like personal? Oh, thank you so much, Auntie. Like you're my favorite. You've been there for me through all these years. Or do I just hit you with the thanks so much and just hit everyone with like the thumbs up?
Yeah, you
and
gotta
then
do
like
more than
what
thumbs.
is too much?
You gotta do
And
more
so
than thumbs.
that's why,
Yeah, and and I don't know if this happened to you as well. And I don't think a lot of people change numbers too often, but getting this new gig and having the baby and getting married, I'm still getting texts from numbers that I don't know.
Yes.
And I just feel too bad to say to fake it and say new phone, who dis, right? So I just say thanks. Thank you, because I don't know if it's a man or woman. I just say thank you, hope all is well, and I have no clue. And there's a specific number that will continue to hit me up, and I'm
only on
pretty
big
sure,
occasions.
I'm pretty sure I know who it is, but I'm avoiding it. The last question I have, and this is for the group actually, and I promise we'll get to sports right after this. But the last question I have, and this goes to Nate too and you, because I was moving, right, and I put this on Twitter as well. How do you feel about cards? Like, I feel really bad throwing away cards, birthday cards.
Sure. Oh.
Congratulatory cards, right? I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to rip them up because that feels disrespectful. Throwing them away feels disrespectful.
Displaying them is not the answer.
It's
either,
too late
then
now.
It's like, what
do you do with cards?
It's not good decoration. Nate?
Yeah.
I feel like I already know.
Yeah,
what
here's
Nate
my,
does.
well, no. So my birthday is right next to Christmas, 4 days apart. So a lot of cards at the same time. It can be overwhelming. I've started recently. I have it's like a folder. You go. What's that briefcase thing you open up and it's got tabs for each section or what?
Sure.
Whatever. It's like
A briefcase.
Yeah. I guess it's whatever.
An organizer.
Yeah, it's an organizer. It's a trapper keeper.
Sure. There you go.
I have a section just for cards now because I feel like if I go back in 20 years and look at those, I'll be like, you know what, Ma, it's really nice that that's what I call my grandma. It's really nice that you took time out of your day to write a letter to one of your 26 grandkids.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
See,
maybe
that's a responsible.
Yeah,
way
maybe I need to get more organized because it's making the trip. I got my first Father's Day card from my wife and my mom. I can't throw that away.
Right. But also,
it's just in my backpack right now, crumpled up.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, yes, what Nate's doing is probably the best thing that you could do. It's probably like the most sentimental. And if you were to tell somebody who sent you a card that, they would be like, "Wow,
he's in the minority."
So sweet.
Though. Let's just be clear.
But also, it's like that's a little bit of hoarding,
Yeah,
like
it is.
And what
I agree.
like. I'm sorry, and Nate, great story, makes sense totally.
No,
But at the same time, are you really ever gonna look back at those?
Maybe. I don't know.
Every time I try to move and they come up again because they're just going everywhere with me.
The possibilities there, though.
I appreciate
it's more of a thought that counts kind of situation. But the problem is it's not a thought, it's a physical item that takes up space in your tiny apartment in Antelope that you live in with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to everyone who's ever written me a note, but
cards,
are
man.
they really
get e-cards? Everyone, you still got to hand write.
Yeah.
The e-cards at this point. Got to get to
a letter.
How about a letter? Dear John.
Yeah.
Got to get to a break when
we got
get
food
back
downstairs.
Okay.
We got food downstairs.
We gotta go.
We
gotta get out of here. Gotta get to a break. When we get back, if the Kings lose, is it time to panic? And what will Chris and I and Nate do if that's the case? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Uma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
ABC Tonight. It's country music's biggest night. The CMA Awards, live. With performances by Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Jelly Roll, and Kay Michelle. Old Dominion with Megan Maroney. Carly Pierce featuring Chris Stapleton. Tanya Tucker with Little Big Town. And more. The best in country music! Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host.
The CMA Awards, live.
Tonight, 8/7 Central on ABC. And stream next day on Hulu.
With over 100 years as a family-owned company, EB Stones learned a few things about making plants grow. Start a healthy family hobby with indoor planting with EB Stones' Edna's Best Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil to help your little plants grow into the perfect indoor plant for the kids and family to enjoy. EB Stone's Indoor and Outdoor Potting Soil is perfectly blended with all the important ingredients you need to create that perfect indoor and outdoor plant or garden. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. Visit ebstone.org for more gardening tips, products, and locations near you.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Nate Littlefield. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. Tonight, the Kings invite the Portland Trailblazers to the Golden One Center for some Pacific Division basketball. We'll have all your coverage right here on Sactown Sports, starting with game night, 5:30 p.m. Scott Marsh, Henry Turner, all the way up to tip-off with the G-Man at 7. Don't forget, all callers and all guests are brought to you by the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Your Sac State Hornets are home for a Saturday 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are the headlines. Now we get back to the second half of Stiles and Watkins.
Live and local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
We are back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. taking you up to 2 p.m. halfway through the show, for the afternoon portion of the show. Hopefully you're enjoying some lunch as we get you through and get you ready for Kings Blazers. And we are 15 minutes away from the most controversial topic on this Wasabi Wednesday, keeping it spicy, the most controversial topic that I have brought to these airwaves, and hopefully Chris does not walk out.
Yeah.
I really hope so. But it would make for great radio if he did, especially if you're on the YouTube. And if you're on the YouTube, thank you for rocking with us. And if you are listening in your car or anywhere else, thank you for being with us. 916-339-1140 if you want to be a part of the conversation. But before we get to that question, we've been asking the question inside. And if you were listening yesterday, basically, Chris, out of the goodness of his heart, he brought in bagels, right?
Yeah.
So he brought in bagels. They were very good. He meant to have one jalapeno salsa, schmear, cream cheese, and another normal one, right? But they accidentally gave him 2 jalapeno salsas. So, as you know, there's only certain bagels you can eat with that. So I said, Chris, what are we going to do with this chocolate bagel? So now I have gone on to say, if the Blazers win tonight, 8-point spread against the Kings, the Blazers, once again, missing a lot of their guys. They are missing Scoot Henderson. They are missing Anfernee Simons. They are missing Robert Williams. They are missing Ish Wainwright. Yes, the Kings are missing De'Aaron Fox. Yes, they're missing Trail Lyles, but Vegas doesn't care.
No.
Vegas doesn't care. They are still 7-point favorites. So I will, as we go through and put it in as well, I see you on the YouTube chat. Somebody said, King Chico said, if the Blazers win, I will cheer as it is one step closer to a Sabonis trade. That's cold-blooded.
Gosh, come on,
That's cold-blooded,
y'all.
but thank you for playing. Thank you for being a part of it. If the Blazers win, I will go back to that bagel shop, get a chocolate bagel, get jalapeno salsa cream cheese, and I will eat it on air.
That's not great. That's okay. Yeah,
That's how confident I am in a bean tonight.
I would also, eating something feels like the right level of punishment. Because I don't want to shave my eyebrows.
No, you can't do that.
Maybe, I guess. What? I was like, I could shave my facial hair, but I also just don't want to do that.
Okay,
that sounds
you
like
can do whatever.
That sounds like a long-term punishment, and I'm not going to let the Kings have that level of control over my life.
Okay,
so,
take control. Just like LeBron.
Yeah, but at the same time, like everything else I can think of is pretty weak. Like I told you, I have like a Niners sweatshirt that I'd be willing to wear. Obviously, that wouldn't be my preferred outfit of choice, but I would gladly wear it if that's a sacrifice I have to make.
What about jerseys?
I don't have any Niners jerseys.
No. Well, NBA jerseys, don't you?
I've got a Lillard jersey. I do have a Portland Lillard jersey, which
I think you wear that.
I could wear it. Kind of feel, yeah.
We could all hop on the chocolate.
I feel like I'm getting off.
Nate, do you have one?
I have a Jeff Teague Atlanta Hawks second stint jersey. Could wear that. No. But it'd have to be on Friday.
Right. You're here on Friday, and we don't want to just, so it's Kyle tomorrow, correct?
Yeah. So I'll pick something bad for Kyle to do. I think that's
right.
fair.
That sounds
I
fair
say
to me.
if the Blazers lose, we just make it nice and simple. If the Blazers win and the Kings lose, I think we all have to eat the chocolate bagel and a jalapeno salsa.
I can also see our good buddy Matt George. I saw he bought the Hot Ones bomb sauce. Maybe
I saw that. I watched that. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, maybe we can do something with that. Maybe I can ask Matt if we could borrow that for a day.
I'm into that.
So
because you'll see him at the game tonight.
Yes, I'll see him at the game.
We're not going to put it in our eyes or anything, right? Okay.
No,
that would not be what
we got to finish the show.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if we
hopefully,
can finish the show
hey,
with that.
Matt, if the Kings lose, can I grab some of that hot sauce? And we'll have it back for you.
Yeah,
and we'll do that
I think
Friday.
I can make that happen. Yeah.
Okay.
If they
That'll
lose,
probably make it easier.
If they lose,
Okay.
And the bagel.
And what are we putting it on? Yeah.
We could put it on the bagel.
On the bagel.
Oh, that's just
No, I think I'm into that.
But it's like the bread absorbs. Like you eat bread after you eat
I don't
something.
think it's
I'm
gonna
sure
help
it'll
much.
still be hot.
Okay.
I don't think we
Maybe
got to
we can,
worry
like,
about
put it
that.
on
I'm down
chip or
for it.
something.
I'm down.
Let's see here. Manny Too Legit says,
Maybe the toilet is.
take a double shot of that hot sauce.
No, there's no way.
No way.
No, we can't. You can't take that straight.
Can't do that. That's so bad for your stomach.
Yeah,
Can't
there's
do
no way.
that. Can't do that
We would
again. We got
actually
to
suffer.
finish the show.
Yeah, exactly. That's also a good point too. Is we can have a couple seconds of dead air, but I think there's an alarm that goes off after 15 seconds.
It's gonna be hard not to just watching your language during it. Yeah.
I said Hex Kitchen this morning. I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah. Hex Kitchen? Oh,
yes.
Hex. Oh, yeah, like
we
the
were
show.
talking about the show.
Yes.
Okay. So you talk to Matt George.
I'll talk
if
to
he's
him.
able to get you the hot sauce, we're able to get that taken care of by Friday.
Yep.
All good. Then you can give it right back to. I don't know if you can take it into the. Sure. You give it to him outside the arena.
Yeah.
So that's all good on Friday. Hopefully, Kings win and we don't have to do anything. But we will eat something and or eat the jalapeno bagel with the chocolate bagel, the jalapeno cream cheese chocolate bagel. If the Kings, and we're not talking about cover, you just got to win.
Yeah.
I don't care if they don't cover.
Yeah, I don't care.
I don't care.
It ain't got to be by
not
8.
for that
Beggars
hot sauce.
can't be choosers.
No,
at this
no,
point,
no.
okay?
So that's what we will do. And again, the Blazers are missing some of their big money guys. Anfernee Simons will not be playing. Robert Williams will not be playing. We hope he gets better with that knee issue that he's had. Ish Wainwright will not be playing. Not a big money guy, but another guy in general. And Scoot Henderson, their top draft pick, will not be playing, who's had a bit of a struggle coming into the league anyway, but you still care about it. So let's talk about it. Beyond our taste buds being singed if the Kings lose, you talk about panic time.
Mm-hmm.
I really think it will be panic time if they don't get this done.
Yeah, for sure. Because then there's no talking yourself off of whatever ledge you're on or whatever. Like at that point, it is very clear and obvious that this team is really struggling and is not the team that we all thought they were. If you lose to the Houston Rockets twice, who we read that NBA.com power rankings, before those two games, the Rockets were ranked 29th in terms of power rankings. And of course, that's not the end all be all, but it's just a sign that there wasn't much hope for this Rockets team before those two games. And then to lose to a Portland Trailblazers team that is probably one of the youngest and most unexperienced teams in the NBA. That's a brutal 3-game stretch, not to mention the fact that, the Kings did also lose that game last Friday against the Warriors as well. So be a 4-game losing streak. It would tie the longest losing streak of last year, which, happened in the first 4 games of the season and then never again. So, I would definitely say if the Kings lose tonight, it's definitely panic time. It's definitely at that point, we were joking yesterday about Monty McNair getting on some phones and calling some people. If the Kings lose tonight, it is seriously it's to the point where you need to shake things up. And I don't think it has to be that.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's not to the point where he has to make a move by the next game on Friday, but it's definitely all right, I don't care what the results are going to be this next week. There's clearly still something that needs to be structurally fixed.
Well, it turns into the conversation of how bad can a team be before you're able to say, or you feel comfortable saying that team isn't going to win a championship. And it's not you, it's not me, it's not anybody at this station or the fans saying championship or bust or anything like that. You were there at Media Day, right? That's what they were saying. That's what those expectations were. So where did that go? Where is the pride? That's my question. So then it becomes, okay, how many teams can lose like this? Because that 4-game losing streak last season was not like this. De'Aaron was playing, but it was not like this. There were questionable calls, a lot of different things. So how bad can a team be, even throughout the course of a long 82-game season, the shortest long season in sports? How bad can a team be and still turn it around and win a championship? Can a team that lost 2 games to the lowly Rockets without De'Aaron Fox and then lost to the Blazers, missing all those guys that they're missing, can a team like that turn it around? How bad has a team been before? And I remember a couple years ago when the Celtics went to the finals, it was, I think they were 500 in January, right? And then they turned it on and they became this great team. That's 500. That's 500 in January, right? The basement and the slow starts. What's the slowest start a team has gotten off to and then made the finals? I don't know what it is, but if the Kings lose tonight, they got to be close to a very slow start. And I don't know, they do it in football because it's easier because of less games. Teams that go 0-2 or 0-3, whatever it is.
60% less likely
to even make the playoffs. So that's where we're at.
For
and
sure.
honestly, one thing we haven't talked about, Chris, is just mentally. I'm really big on the mental aspect of sports. And, I hope nowadays, I know a lot of these guys got sports psychiatrists, and I think is great. But just a mental aspect. If you know that you are not really worth you are the same level as a lottery team without De'Aaron Fox, that's not good for the mentals and the chickens.
No.
It's not good.
No, not good for confidence. It's not good for, moments when, De'Aaron Fox might miss more games than what we're seeing
he
right
missed
now.
9 games last season.
Yeah, they need to feel confident as a squad, and it shouldn't be De'Aaron Fox dependent because you're never going to achieve anything if you're always relying on this one guy. And it's it definitely starts to become the point of concern. But I do want to point out something you said yesterday that's really been sticking with me, that last year was also different because I think you said expectation. There was no expectations last year, essentially, and there's expectations this year. And when there's expectations, it's really hard to meet to meet those expectations when they're so high. And the Kings just haven't really been expected to play like this. And frankly, last year, anytime they were expected to win, or if it was a big game of clinching a playoff spot, took them like 3 games to clinch a playoff spot when they had an opportunity. This team also has an issue where in the biggest games they've played, they have not shown up. And you can do that game 7. You can do that last year losing to Minnesota. You can do it last year losing to the San Antonio Spurs at home to clinch a playoff series. Or a playoff seed. There's tons of things that when you talk about the mental side of sports that really concern me about this team. And it's not just De'Aaron Fox deep. I think that these guys have a lot of stuff that they need to figure out, and they need to figure it out starting quickly today. But because you don't want to go into that OKC game again feeling like you're sputtering and having that be the game that you're trying to make a comeback and look like your former self is against maybe one of your strongest opponents so far this season.
It is easier to exceed expectations than it is to meet them. And that is what the Kings are figuring out right now. Got to get to a break. When we get back, it's time. The most controversial topic that I brought up since moving to Sacramento and in the history of Stiles and Watkins. You're going to want to listen to this. Get your calls ready. Get your texts ready. Get your chat ready. You can boo me out of the studio if you want.
Can't wait.
But it is my duty to ask this question. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own loan report.
Hey, it's Carmichael Day for my good friends at Fire Wings with some bullet points for you to remember so you can be a professional fire wing eater. Like Wings Day Wednesday, 88-cent wings each and every Wednesday. 3 flavor lineup includes 7 classic wing flavors, 7 dry rub wing flavors, 7 fusion wing flavors. It's the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Go to firewings.com or download the app, find a location near you, order online, earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, 10th official episode.
You're about to bury the show right now.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. It is time. I know I've teased it. Yeah. And it is time to have the conversation. My wife told me not to do this. She told me not to go here.
I'm so scared.
Chris is very scared
I
right
have
now.
no idea. This is not a bit. Me and Nate have no idea. Alan has been teasing this all show. He told us the second I walked in today, he was like, I have a segment for us. I'm not going to tell you anything about it. But just know I've got a segment, and it's gonna make you upset, and it definitely might make people upset. And can I tell them what the only thing that you told me? Can I tell them even that?
No, because I'm going to get into it right now.
Just roll it out. Go ahead.
916-339-1140 if you want to be a part of the conversation. We're going to go to Chris. We're going to go to Nate. We're going to go to the callers. We're going to go to the YouTube chat. We're going to go to the text line. The question is this.
Okay. Here we go.
The problem with having a shtick is that you never know when the shtick should end. And my question to you, the Kingdom Beam regime, is this. If the Kings miss the playoffs or sneak into the play-in, lose early, right? Barely make it to the play-in, lose early, don't even get to the real playoffs. They miss the actual playoffs. Would you consider ending the Beam era?
No, I would not consider it. And I hate that you asked this question.
Why?
Wow.
Because you can't end it because you start sucking is what I
so
like.
It's just a Beam forever.
You
then.
got a hard no. I mean, if they were going to end it, they should have ended it last year after like that storybook season. To me, they're almost at a point now where the Beam can't go away until the Kings win a championship.
What?
I mean, yeah, like unless you're just going to say like, hey, we actually don't want to spend money on the Beam anymore, and that's the reason why it's going. I don't think you can end it just because it started to become less fun. To me, that's like just a further admission of like if I were a comedian, which I'm
you just say the
not,
era.
I would just say
era. 2 years. It was a good run.
I would only want to remember it for last year then.
That is the problem with shticks, though.
Yeah.
And I love the Beam. I want to see one tonight, but that is the problem with shticks. You don't know when they're supposed to end.
Spoken like a man who's never seen the Beam in person.
I did. I only seen one because I can't win a dang game. I'm just saying, at what point would you say you're just going to do the Beam forever? Because I'll be honest with you.
Chicago still got
Kevin
that
Herter,
white flag.
No. Hold on. The Kings, and we are the Kings flagship, okay? The Kings, just yesterday, I believe, they posted, this is how bad it is with the Kings. They're reposting throwback to our first Beam. They got to do throwbacks already. And I'll be honest with you.
That was not great.
When we watched the Lakers, right, and people started walking out and see Kevin Herter, I thought there'd be a little bit more energy behind Kevin Herter. It's not the same as last season.
It's definitely not. No, I mean, it definitely hasn't been the same as last season, I should say. No, I mean, I don't think that's the answer. Like, I'm not
saying it's the answer, or I'm just saying, I'm not saying it is the answer, but I'm saying because of the shtick, you're now connected to it.
Yeah,
and at what point would you, if hey, yeah, we're lighting. I don't know, man. It's just
you're already trying to kill this thing.
I'm not trying. I'm asking a question.
Just got here. You're trying to kill our favorite thing.
339-1140 all over on the YouTube chat and also on the text line 916. I'm with Chris. Beam stays at least until Monty and Mike are gone.
That
okay,
feels better because it's got to be some sort of like ending of the era. Because then what happens if you end the Beam after this season, where like you're saying maybe they sneak into a play-in or something? Well, what happens if the very next season they're in the Western Conference Finals and you just got rid of the Beam because you overreacted to one bad season?
I'm not saying. I said consider. Okay, but now we can go 2 years. Yeah. You're setting it at a championship, though.
Yeah, I think at this point, like that. I mean, if you're going to end it due to results, I think it has to be because of
part of the
championship.
DNA now.
Or unless it is like a hard pivot of like, the Kings do what Brooklyn Nets did last year.
If the Kings win a championship, there is no way on this earth they would get rid of the Beam.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
There would be 3 beams.
That's more so what I'm saying.
Coming out.
I think there would be 16. I think it would be one for every single playoff win. Every playoff win would get a Beam. That's my eventual goal with the Beam for the playoffs.
916, always listen to your wife. That's fair. This
absolutely.
Is a bad idea. If the Kings miss the playoffs, the era is established by Fox or Sabonis, like the Weber era. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just got to be some sort of hard pivot away from like the Kings intentionally are no longer trying to be successful, if that makes sense. Like if, like the texter said, if Monty or Mike Brown or if De'Aaron gets traded or something drastic like that, where the Kings clearly aren't going to be winning anywhere near 40 plus ball
But then
games.
the beam is even more important because you're not getting that many W's.
That's
Hey
what I
guys,
said.
we get to light
That's
the
what
beam tonight.
I said it's only 20 times this year. Okay, you better make sure
Each
you're there
beam
when
is
it's
more
there.
important.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see a beam. Look, I'm not saying, and I'm seeing here all over on the YouTube chat, Jess Escoto, I'm with you, Styles. We can't do it forever. Family Schlegel, it is an era thing. Epic Era Bees, not yet, Styles. Okay, I'm just saying.
I think it's just not yet. Like, we just got it. It was so fun last year. They're off to like about as bad of a start as you could have in year 2, but like I think that because the thing is, like, once the beam gets going, like the Kings had a 7-game win streak last year,
and it was just
it's just on. It's
Yeah.
just on every day, and you expect it to. You're excited to see it, and it. The crazy thing about last year is I see Jess saying, it's already starting to get a little corny.
Whoa!
To me,
that's a Sacramento.
It hit every single time last year, and like as the games continue to get
Okay,
more
but Chris,
important,
you
the
were in
beams-
that building with me.
Yes.
That was my first beam
Yes,
experience.
yeah.
Was the energy the same lighting the beam with Kevin Huerter in that Lakers win as it was last season?
No, but it's the first one. It was the first one.
Shouldn't that be even more beamy?
Yeah, I mean, but you could also argue. I mean, we were there for the crowd that day as well. It was 50% Laker fans that day,
and that's
So
a
if you-
yikes.
Yeah, I mean,
With
that's
the possibility of the
that's
first
normal.
beam?
That's honestly
That's normal. Them and the
That's super
Warriors, that's normal.
That's super normal.
Yeah.
I mean, if that crowd is 100% Kings fans, like on Friday, if the Kings in the in-season tournament, there's not going to be an Oklahoma City fan in sight. If the Kings win that game and
With the new court.
with it all, the unveiling of the new jerseys as well.
That's
the
right.
The
I
throwback
need a beam
jerseys.
that night.
Can't wait
That's
for
the thing.
that.
I love a beam, and I love a shtick.
Don't seem like
just,
it.
No,
It really
no.
don't seem like it.
It just made me think.
Uh-huh.
I said, wow. At what point? What is the? Because I think about in
What is the
baseball.
end?
In
Yeah.
baseball,
The
they have all
halo
these
and all that
new.
stuff,
They have all these new celebrations in Toronto they put on a jacket
Right, the
and
home runs and all that
and they
stuff,
have the home runs. Well, when did this stuff end? 916 on the text line. Give me a break. Beam is here to bleep and stay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to ask. They're down horrendous right now.
They are down
And the hope is that in
horrendously
about
bad.
2 weeks, Chris will say, Alan, I got a segment for you. Remember when you sounded ridiculous
Yeah.
when you said the beam?
Remember when you should have listened to your wife?
That's
that one
right.
ti- that one of many times.
That's right. 530. The beam should just signify that it's game night, regardless of a win or loss going forward. Don't have to get rid of the beam. I don't know. You can't just have it regardless.
Yeah, it's a victory celebration. It's like, back in the day, didn't people used to like sound horns after winning a battle or something like that? It's very much, it's meant to bring people together and meant to be a part of the celebration. And the wins coming
I love it.
sporadically
Maybe I just
makes
haven't
it more
seen
special.
enough.
Yeah, you just haven't
Maybe
been
I haven't
through
seen enough, and that's not a shot.
And when you're without the beam, you forget how just like how great
I
it is
want
to
it
have
tonight.
it back.
I want it tonight. Real quick on the YouTube chat before we get to a break. V Hill 1, this is Sacramento. We care if the Kings win every game, so it stays forever. Manny Too Legit, Styles, just say you don't like the beam. LOL, I'm kidding. I love the beam. I love it. I'm just saying we should at least.
You're tripping.
We should at least have the conversation. And we will continue to have the
very
conversation.
much disagree.
I'm not saying to get rid of it. I'm saying we should at least have the conversation. Because at what point?
I very much
You're
disagree.
just going to beam forever.
Yes.
You're going to beam forever.
Until further notice. We are beaming. Well, not in the beaming or dreaming
It's just
segment.
like Belichick and the Patriots. You should move on from something before it loses its luster.
Sure.
And I would say
You're gonna say after 1 year
No,
of
I'm not saying that.
success?
I'm saying you cannot wait for a championship. Got to get to a break. Calls, text when we get back. If the Kings miss the playoffs or barely sneak into the play-in, would you consider moving away from the beam? 916-339-1140. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, all-stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox. The breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's going on at Hoblet this month, Chad?
We're celebrating the Black Friday sales event all month long, which means you're saving big with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 1500 crew cabs with no payments for 90 days. That means you get your new truck with no payments until 2024. And we have new Rams starting under $30,000.
That's probably why you're the number one Ram truck dealer in California and number 3 in the nation.
Well, that, and because we also have huge savings on heavy duties too, with up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy duty crew cabs. That means you can get the brand new heavy duty truck you need starting at $45,995 and no payments until next year.
Well, there you go. Get your new truck now at the Hoblet Ram Truck Center or search Select and Save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$15,000 total net savings on $1,500 after $11,000 factory rebates and $4,000 dealer discount. 5 of this net savings under $30,000 VIN number 527379. $15,000 total net savings on $2,500 after $10,000 factory rebates and $5,000 dealer discount. 5 of this net savings $45,995 VIN 502146. Rebates include $1,000 case construction bonus cash. Must have purchased eligible case equipment from qualifying dealer. No payments for 90 days through Chrysler Capital.
Your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Book your testosterone level check at Revive Men's Health, Sacramento. They're the local experts with guaranteed treatment for low T and ED. There are no lab fees, and all your tests are included when you start treatment. And many patients find Revive more affordable than their insurance deductibles and copays. Book your testosterone level check today. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
O'Reilly. It's See Better, Drive Safer month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Replace your worn-out wiper blades and get up to a $20 O'Reilly gift card after rebate when you purchase a pair of select wiper blades. See store for details. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. It's the perfect time to upgrade any home, business, or gaming setup powered by Intel Core processors. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of huge savings and free shipping. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches in my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said, I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple of people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
You know what time it is. It's time to trade up to a brand new Kia at Folsom Lake Kia. Trade up to the newest technology with a low payment. Shop Folsom Lake Kia, family owned for over 20 years.
Sactown Sports
Headlines.
I'm Nate Littlefield. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. Tonight, the Kings invite the Portland Trail Blazers to the Golden One Center for some Pacific Division basketball. We'll have all your coverage right here on Sactown Sports, starting with game night, 5:30 p.m. Tip-off with the G-Man at 7. For the 49ers, Deebo Samuel is back in practice, and according to him, he's 100% ready to go. Trent Williams, on the other hand, is not 100% ready to go. He's been on the sideline during practice, kind of working off on his own. His status is still up in the air for Sunday's matchup against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Your Sac State Hornets are home for this Saturday for a 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at Sac Sports at hornetsports.com. Those are the headlines. Now it's time to get back to Stiles and Watkins.
Live local. Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports. Thank you for the update, Nate, as we take you up to 2 p.m. with a very, very interesting conversation. And look, I'm not saying to get rid of it.
Kind of sounds like it.
No, I'm not saying.
Okay.
I'm not saying to get rid of it. I'm saying, would you have that conversation? Would you at least think about it? And a lot of interesting things coming in. YouTube chat, on the text line, calls as well. And a lot of people are saying that it's the tradition and saying the chant of light the beam is even more important than the actual beam
itself, right?
At this point, the 916, the beam is nowhere near as bad and tired as the Rally Monkey, and they're still doing that. That is from Thomas. There you go. Someone from the 530. Maybe just get rid of the button celebration that lights the beam and just light the beam. But you have the player of the game, right? Because the DPOG normally lights the beam as well,
Not
right?
necessarily, no. I believe the person who lights the beam is kind of completely random / up to King's media.
So it's not always a
PR.
player.
It is always a player.
Or
but
50
it's,
Cent. Could
or
be
50 Cent. But it's more than like Chemezi Metu lit the beam. Like it's more just, hey, we need any of the players to address the crowd. And of course, if it's somebody who had minimal or slight impact on the game, they'll take it. But for the most part, from what I understand, it's pretty random.
Okay. Family Schlegel on the YouTube.
I don't hate that idea, by the way. Yeah, just lighting it and not making it like so much of a presentation, because I do think the presentation, to what Jess was saying earlier,
I'll put it to you like this.
The presentation's a little corny.
Yeah, and I recorded it thinking, oh, this is going to hit, and it did not hit at all.
Yeah.
It did not hit at all.
No,
Family
for sure.
Schlegel, your wife is so smart. Yes, I definitely outkicked my coverage. King Chico, the chant is so uplifting. The chant is more important than the actual beam now.
If I could speak to that a little bit, I think a lot of that is also the fact that, the Kings were kicked for a lot of years, especially Kings fans didn't have much to cheer about for a very, very long time. And again, it's really nice to have a rally cry. It feels good. It feels like we have an opportunity to kind of puff our chest out, and finally we're the ones who, aren't the ones being laughed at or aren't the laughing stock. And it's just I think it's a very empowering, uplifting thing for Kings fans. I really do, especially on the road. Like if you can go to a random game, if you just so happen to live in Portland, but you're a Sacramento Kings fan, you get to stand up and, while everybody else is clearing out, you get to be that obnoxious jerk who's like, and then you look over a couple sections over, there's like 5 other people, and it's a really cool thing. I think it's really interesting. I haven't thought about it, but I do think the rally cry is just as important, if not even more important, than the beam itself. Of course, quite literally everyone and their mom takes pictures of the beam when it's up, but I think the cheer is really what makes it special.
Yeah, and I think that is probably the most important part of this. The 916, Florida State and the Braves have been doing the tomahawk chop for 93 years. Not really going to touch that because that is a
problematic
dicey subject, but we understand what you are saying, and what it's making me think of now is teams that do and don't have that quote-unquote rally cry. Right. Okay? The Raiders, whether the Raiders are winning or not, and you heard Antonio Pierce at the end.
Loved it.
Raiders, and that's that. You have that.
Yeah.
Again, you ever go to a Warrior game or even on the road? Warriors, which they probably kind of jacked from the Raiders a little bit, but they have that, right? I'm trying to think of other ones off the top of my head, other rally cries in sports.
Well, the Warriors one is jacked from the movie.
Oh, I guess it is, huh? Right.
And then the Raiders are very similar.
Right.
Yeah. So which came first?
I would probably guess Raiders came first.
Before the movie?
Movie's like mid-70s, early 70s, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
I would guess that the Raiders chant came first. Because the Warriors chant isn't exactly like the movie. Because if I haven't, of course, shocker, I haven't seen the movie. But from what my pop culture understanding is, it's a little bit more like Warriors. And not so much like
So I think the Warriors is very similar to the Raiders.
Yeah, it is. 100%.
Yeah. So there are those. There's the Rally Monkey. There's the Phillies were doing something. They were playing a song.
They play a stupid song.
The Vikings have the skull.
Yes.
And the skull is awesome.
That's
like,
right.
They're not taking the skull
No bias
away from them at all. No,
Right.
I mean, it's dope.
Right.
Yeah,
If
cool.
a team stunk, would they get rid of something? So I'm not
you know
saying
what?
to get rid of
and
it.
Team Australia is going to do the haka against Team USA no matter what.
No matter what.
You know, so
And even if they're not good,
no,
they're going to do it. So I'm not saying to get rid of the beam. It's been a fun conversation. All I'm saying is, would you consider it?
Yeah.
Has it crossed anybody's mind?
No, just
Or is
yours.
It now,
just yours.
No. You know what it is when is the last time? I think what's interesting is that when is the last time a tradition has been started lately, right?
Yeah,
all these
skull.
traditions.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they've been saying Warriors.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they've been saying Raiders. I don't know how they've been saying Skull, but it's for a long time. They're talking about the
Skull
chop.
is a little more Skull is probably the most recent because that started because of the World Cup in 2012, I want to say, when Iceland did it, and then the Vikings pretty much took it from the Iceland national team. So that's probably the most recent. But before that, I mean, it's like before I was born. From what I understand, the Angels, they have the rally monkey, but the Kings also got the beam idea from the Angels used to light the halo, I guess. So it was probably that in the early 2000s. But even then, I don't think the halo lighting of the halo was nearly as big as what the beam is. Again, I was a child when that was happening, but it didn't seem like everybody knew that that's kind of what the Angels did. You know, it's not like, again, like the Cubs waving the W flag or anything like that.
Right. Yeah. The W. So there's that one as well. I'm just thinking here, going back to the beam. Yeah, I guess that's the thing. When you hear people say, oh, yeah, the beam team, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just differentiating that the beam team is now the Kings.
Yeah.
The beam team isn't the 2022, 2023 Kings.
Yeah.
The beam team is now the Kings.
The Kings.
That was the original beam team. But if this is now a tradition and not a shtick, then every team is the beam team. The Kings are now, should in Wikipedia be also known as the beam team.
I like what you just said there because I think that's the right way of framing this. Is this a tradition or is this a shtick?
Yes.
Because traditions, as the texter said, with the tomahawk chop and all that stuff, traditions last forever.
Right.
Shticks, they could be 2 years. They could be.
That's what
15,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And that's what we don't really know yet.
Yeah, of course.
Right. We don't really know. That's what we're trying to figure out.
It feels more like a tradition. I would say with how much it was embraced. And I would say to your point, the winning definitely plays a major part in it because if the Kings win 60 games through 2 years, like I don't know if it makes sense for the beam.
The battery would be great in the beam. You wouldn't need a new battery.
It might be brighter than ever because it's just like it's been storing up energy for so long. It's just like ready to shine.
It's barely being used.
Yeah. Maybe we could turn it into a bat signal or something like that. I don't know. Maybe we could repurpose it. I don't know.
You can keep rocking it. I think I
think the problem's going to be how does the beam evolve? Because I mean, after 1 year, they've already made it significantly thicker, as we've talked about. But like in 5 or 10 years, it's like, all right, yeah, like to the point. What's different? What's different about this beam than I've been watching this beam for 5 years now. Does it still hit the same?
All the other traditions that we talked about haven't changed though. Yeah. So it doesn't have to change.
Maybe they can improve the in-court beam to your point that the beam that they tried to have inside Golden One Center to look like it was shooting through the roof didn't quite hit. Maybe they improved that or something, but I don't know. I'm starting to maybe hear what you're saying, but I'm still not agreeing with it.
I'm not trying to get rid of the beam. I'm saying, number one, if this is a tradition, then sure, then you have to do it forever.
Yeah.
You cannot end it.
No.
I was not sure whether it was being presented as a tradition or a shtick.
They still haven't made a statement.
You know what? We're going to work. We're going to put Nate to work. We're going to slide into some DMs, and we're going to work on getting the Kings marketing department in here. Somebody from Kings marketing be like, hey, are you marketing this?
We want
as
a definitive answer.
Or a tradition. Yeah. That's what we want to know. Got to get to a break. When we get back, keys to the game. What are the keys to the game tonight for the Kings as they take on the Blazers? Stiles and Watkins, and more of your beam thoughts. Let's keep it going. Sactown Sports.
Will Kyle Shanahan and the 49ers brass go all the way this season? Could the Niners win their first Super Bowl since 1995? Join us throughout the season to hear all the games and all the analysis on Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave letting you know Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room and primetime football location is back. Cap Casino giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Check it out. Capital Casino. And as always, please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Just be natural. Try to roll around in it gracefully and not like a puppy.
Maria's photography studio is zooming into a flurry of projects.
Where did I put that memory card?
She needs an assistant to keep business in focus.
Hang on while I change the external flash. Oh,
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
With wet weather here, you're probably going to play a few rounds in the rain, so keep a few things in mind in those wet conditions. The ball probably won't go as far because you'll get little, if any, run out. If you tend to hit the ball low, maybe think about adjusting the loft of your driver to carry the ball farther. And when you get to the short clubs on the wet ground, your wedge can have a tendency to dig into the turf, so focus on hitting the ball first. And if you occasionally spin the ball back on the greens, expect more of that to happen when they're wet. Now, all of this assumes that you're ready to play in the rain. You own waterproof shoes and rain gear, rain gloves, which work best when wet, and an extra towel to keep everything else dry. But the most important thing you should bring to the first tee is a positive attitude. I found some of my most memorable rounds have been played in the rain. Overcoming the conditions to enjoy yourself while possibly shooting a good score makes for a great day. And remember, golf is a game, even in the rain. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing strategies that deliver results. On your next campaign, aim higher. Go to aimyourdigital.com and get started today. aimyourdigital.com.
Not. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah, the way you're glaring at me, I don't.
I have a different stance than Watkins.
Okay.
I might have a controversial take on this.
Okay.
I kind of thought it should have been a one and done thing last year.
Wow.
I know.
Simone's not feeling
Simone's
that.
back.
Chris isn't
Hi,
either.
Simone.
Oh, she can't hear you.
Oh,
Turn my mic on. Sorry.
That's so sad.
Hey, Watkins says hi. And yeah, so I think it should have been a one and done thing.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was kind of a special thing for that 1 year. Like you said, when do we end it now? Do we just do it forever?
I can't believe you guys are trying to get us canceled.
No, I'm not.
We are
I'm asking
live
questions.
and local, and we are going to get canceled.
We ask the hard questions, Simone.
Yeah.
That's our duty.
And I give the hard answers.
There you go.
Always.
Simone, so what? You're just going to be beaming until thy kingdom come?
Yep.
Okay. That's
Beam
fine.
me right up until heaven
Okay.
or wherever.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I actually kind of agree with Nate in the sense of if they weren't going to do it forever, they should have just done it for last year.
And that's why we're going to get the marketing director on the line and figure out, is this a tradition now?
Yeah, coulda, shoulda.
I don't
woulda.
think you're going to get any answers. If I'm not mistaken, they trademarked it. They trademarked like the beam as well.
I'll
So
go in on
if I had to
Friday
guess-
and I'll talk to some people.
The problem is that it's too financially
Yes, exactly.
successful for the Kings.
Exactly.
How much beam merch do they have now? You see, halfway through the season, they figured it out. They had everything. They had a defensive player, the chain of the game chains, which is different. I mean, similar, different.
Right.
But yeah, Simone's got a shirt on, so like the beam shirt.
Wow, I have a very interesting text that just came in. It's a little bit niche, but not really. And let me know how you feel about this, Chris. This is from the 916.
Okay.
It's talking about the beam being a bit of a spoiler.
Oh, yeah.
For those that don't get to watch the game live. Is it just, hey, sorry, not sorry?
Yeah.
And those who don't get to watch the game live.
Mm-hmm. You know, there's a good portion of people for varying reasons.
Right.
Some people, work in this, bartenders.
And
or
I'm
whatever.
wondering if the Kings won. I'm driving home. I see the beam. Oh,
And
great.
now I don't have to watch the game.
Now, do the Kings care about that with, like we said, all the marketing and business opportunities?
No,
probably not.
They're laughing to the bank.
Yes, that is probably, when you talk about pie chart, that is not going to have a big part of the pie. But it is a thing. I agree. If you want to go home and DVR the game and you're driving home and you can't close your eyes and
you
say,
just kind of go like this.
yeah,
You just
that's
kind of
not
put your
safe
hand
while
over
you're driving.
your forehead. You're good.
That is not safe to do while driving. But yeah, I never thought about that. Spoiler, because I have a buddy who DVRs all the games.
Yeah, we had an issue with that. If I'm not mistaken, Rami would talk about that all the time, where he would he lived in Midtown, and so he would drive home. Sometimes not watch the game and then try and watch it home late at night, and he would see the big. I think he called it the big spoiler in the sky, which is pretty much what it is. But like you said, I just don't think the Kings really care about that. That's a very niche, specific problem that, I'm sorry, they kind of don't. They're just not going to care about that specific subset of people. But I definitely agree that it's a spoiler.
It's for sure.
Because I'm definitely one of those people where if you tell me the score, I'm not watching the game. It's spoiled for me at that point. Like, I don't need to see the process of how they got there if at the end of the day you don't have the angst and anxiety of not knowing what all of these, random shots are going to mean.
Right. And the 916 goes on to say, now I have to avoid looking to the west, walking with my head down because I'm a Kings fan, not because I'm a Kings fan in shame. Well, yeah, look, it's definitely a thing. But I do think the amount of fans that, and I don't know if DVR is still even the term, but I do think the amount of fans that don't get to watch the game live but still watch the game later is probably higher than we think.
Sure.
But unfortunately, the Kings are not going to shut down the beam because of that. No. And I don't think the 916 is saying to do so. That is an issue that I didn't really think about. It's very similar to me. So I was late watching Succession. Succession.
Still
tried to get on the train. And what happened? Succession, the finale happened.
Whoa, no.
And you couldn't, that's what I'm saying. You couldn't do anything without, and Succession's not in my algorithm.
Sure.
I never finished watching it because I saw the finale on Twitter. I saw all the spoilers on Twitter and I didn't even ask for it.
Right.
So now I have no reason to finish watching that show as good as everybody says it is. So very similar to that. You're going to go home, you're going to DVR, but you already saw the beam. So you know how it ends. But I do think there are a lot of people that say, hey, well, I don't know how we got there.
Yeah, exactly. But, frankly, again, I'm somebody who loves basketball, loves all sports.
Right. We just don't have time.
If I know the result, that's what we're watching the game for, is to figure out the result. So, I can look at stats and maybe piece together who had the good game from there. But I would say that's definitely the most legitimate excuse for maybe. I mean, again, they're not going to change their opinion on it, but that is definitely an undeniable just downfall of the beam. It is the world's greatest spoiler for sure.
Yeah. Definitely is. All right, as we get to the keys to the game to hopefully see a beam tonight, which I am not trying to get rid of. I am just simply stating.
I just can't wait for me to go to the arena, and then everyone's gonna be like, "Where's Alan? Where's your partner?" I heard what he said today, so he's not gonna show his face. I don't know, man.
I can't show up today. No. I can't show up today. I'm sorry. I'm afraid to show up.
I'll just say guys. Like, he's got a legitimate excuse. His baby's trying solids for the first time.
Yeah, we're trying solids for the first time.
And
hopefully
he would love to be here, though.
Watching a beam. AJ Cruz 75 at Alan Stiles. Spelled the name right. I love to see it. Thank you, AJ. You still need to give it a shot. Knowing the ending without knowing the height of the stakes means nothing. TV shows, again, are better than one-off sports. I think he's talking about Succession. All right.
Yes.
When I got time,
Succession.
I will. 916-339-1140. Let's hear from Lori, who wants to talk beam. What's up, Lori? You're on Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Well, not only the... Oh, wait, can you hear me? I'm sorry. Just turn my radio down.
We got you.
We can hear you.
Okay. Well, not only does the beam, I have to drive with my hand over my eyes, but the pizza parlor down the street from me likes the beam now, too. So.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've got my hand over my eyes most of the time now. Crazy.
Well, you got to be safe while driving. Don't do that while you're driving, Lori.
That's terrible, man.
That's while I'm driving. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? But, I love the beam. What am I going to do?
Yeah. I hear you. Thanks for the call, Lori.
That's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
Look, they're all
businesses, homes. You can drive down your neighborhood, and someone might have their own beam. I've got colored lights in my house, so like when the Kings win, my roommates like to change our front porch lights to purple. But
that's why it's not going to go anywhere, and that's why it's getting closer to tradition.
Yeah.
Right. Was anybody a beam for Halloween?
Oh my gosh,
that would have been a great costume.
That would have been fantastic. Not that I've seen actually.
Simone, that could have been you.
Shocked.
You came in as a beam.
Yeah,
that more out of you.
Screams Simone.
Wow.
Instead she showed up as French Simone, and you could have been the beam.
We want beam. That's what it should have been.
You guys are really, really on my case today.
I'm just saying, you come in hot.
And I'm just trying to relax.
No.
I'm just trying to cut criticism about you should have been a beam when you guys didn't even dress up for anything.
I was Tim Anderson, just not in the studio.
No. Yeah, I'm turning off my mic.
All right. Good talk. Keys to the game as we get ready for Blazers Kings, and hopefully we won't have to eat. What's the name of the hot sauce?
The Bomb.
The Bomb hot sauce.
Yeah. I'm actually excited to eat it. So maybe just anyway.
You're excited to eat it. If the Blazers win, man, that's not going to be a good time.
I don't want the Blazers to win, but I do want to try it.
If you want to try it anyway, you can still try it.
Maybe I'll just ask Matt for the sauce, and then just the next time the Kings lose, we'll do it.
Right. We can roll over.
I don't think the Kings are going to lose the rest of the season.
A lot of beams.
Or if we want, Nate, I mean, you could maybe just, we could have it so regardless somebody has to eat the sauce. Like if you want to root for the Blazers tonight.
No, I'm not rooting for the Blazers.
How about
my teams aren't doing very well right now. I'm not turning on them.
How about Chris and I will eat the sauce if the Blazers win. You eat the sauce if the Kings win.
Pitch that one more time. I'm sorry.
If the Blazers win, Chris and I eat the sauce. If the Kings win, you eat the sauce.
I feel like you're putting a fence in between me and you guys. Like you guys don't want me to be part of the show. You guys don't want me to be part.
I'm trying to Pete Rose you.
There is no way Kyle is going to be eating any sauce.
No, we're rolling it over to Friday.
Yeah, we're
all
doing
right, Nate.
Friday.
Look, I'm trying, man.
I appreciate you trying, but it also feels like you don't want me here.
I also don't like your tone. I don't like your tone.
You're the one attacking me.
I'm not.
I'm sorry. Time out, everyone. Can you guys explain to me and maybe any listeners who may have missed this segment earlier?
Sure.
You guys are doing some sort of bet?
Yeah, because the Blazers have a ton of players missing.
Of course.
So we're just hoping that the Kings figure it out. That's all this was. Innocently enough, this is what this was all about. It evolved from a chocolate bagel, to now the hot sauce. And Nate wants to try the hot sauce, but also wants the Kings to win. So I'm trying to connect those dots for Nate.
I want the best of both worlds.
Yeah. I'm trying to give it to you.
Yeah. Well, I'll probably just try it anyways, but I'll do a lot more if they lose. I'll do like painful where it just sucks.
Okay, and now HR, if you're listening, this is not.
Get the milk ready.
Man,
Yeah. I'm lactose intolerant. That's a ticking time bomb.
We got to finish the show, man.
Okay, sorry.
We got to finish the show. We'll have a sub ready for you on Friday because it ain't going to matter because the Kings are going to win. And this is how they're going to win.
Nice hypothetical.
Yes, with the keys to the game as we are about a minute away from a break. So we will get to those when we get back. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sactown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
All new spring deals are here at Lowe's. Start planting your garden this weekend with Bonnie 11.8-ounce vegetables. Buy 4 for $10. Plus, liven up your patios and decks with fresh blooms. Select 1.5-gallon hanging baskets or 2 for $20. Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/17. In-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
For 35 years, TruckSmart has been your local leader in truck accessories. Find racks, toolboxes, and lighting for your work truck, and trailer hitches, side steps, and bed covers for recreation. They have shells for work or play, and offer Rhino lining, the best bed protection in the business. You like overlanding? TruckSmart has rooftop tents, recovery gear, and heavy-duty bumpers. Trust your ride to their skilled installers and expert sales staff at the Rockland and Auburn locations. TruckSmart. Your truck's gonna love them. TruckSmart.com. Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
At SimpliSafe, your safety is the only thing that matters. Introducing 24/7 Lifeguard Protection, only from SimpliSafe Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. Advanced home security, 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Dell's Black Friday event is their biggest sale of the year. Shop limited time deals on laptops like the stylish, innovative XPS 13, engineered to do it all on the Intel Evo platform. Plus, save big on ultra-sharp monitors and top brand accessories. Shop now at Dell.com/deals to take advantage of financing options and get free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals for huge savings today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Your defending Big Sky champion Sacramento State Hornets are home this Saturday afternoon against the Cal Poly Mustangs. It's Military Appreciation Day at Hornet Stadium as we honor our local heroes. And don't miss the pregame flyover as kickoff is set for 2 p.m. Let's pack Hornet Stadium for the final regular season home game of the year as the Hornets try for a 4th straight trip to the postseason. Don't miss any of the action or excitement of Hornet football. Get your tickets now at hornetsports.com. Stingers up.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles, drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet Arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa
actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet feel good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Knee, hip, foot, leg, or back pain? Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports.
Headlines.
I'm Nate Littlefield. These are your Sactown Sports headlines. Tonight, the Kings invite the Portland Trail Blazers to the Golden One Center for some Pacific Division basketball. We'll have all your coverage right here on Sactown Sports, starting with game night at 5:30. Tip-off with the G-Man at 7. Don't forget, all guests and all callers brought to you by the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Your Sac State Hornets are home this Saturday for a 2 p.m. kickoff against the Cal Poly Mustangs. Get your tickets at hornetsports.com. Those are the headlines. Now we let the dogs out again on the final hour of Stiles and Watkins for today.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out?
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Stiles and Watkins, let it ride. Oh, yeah.
We love the Baja Men here on this show.
We do.
Big
Friends of the
Baja.
show. Maybe we can get them on the show.
I'm sure we could. I'm sure that would be easier than getting a Kings personnel person.
Absolutely.
And we are the Kings affiliate.
Absolutely.
Nate is unhinged. I love to see it. Stiles and Watkins,
I just like
Sactown
to think of
Sports.
everyone in the office right now who's hearing this just blast through the entire.
By the way, because we are a show for the people, that is from the 714, who said Sabonis will have a triple-double tonight, only in all caps if you play some Baja Men who let the dogs out. And Malik Monk, he said you got some dogs.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking for them.
Let's hear bark, Chris. There we go.
There you go.
Alan?
Yeah, we want everyone's bark.
There you go. Well, now you do it. Come on.
Oh, boo.
There you go. All right. We're looking for the dogs, for all the dogs. We're looking for the dogs tonight. That Malik Monk says is all over the Kings roster. Well, they've been missing. What was it? The 90s dog movie when they get lost? No, not where they have to come home. The dog gets lost.
Babe, Pig in the City?
No, it's a dog. Somebody help me out on Homeward Bound. Homeward Bound. Wasn't that a dog?
Yeah, there's like a dog, a cat.
There you go.
Yes.
Homeward Bound.
Oh, my
We don't
gosh.
want any Homeward Bound tonight with the Kings. We want the dogs right there in Golden One. We want the beam, the new tradition. We're not moving off the beam. I don't know why Chris would suggest to move off the beam.
I can't stand
So wait,
Why
we do want to let the dogs out, but not too far. Like not.
Stay in the arena.
Okay, we're gonna let the dogs out into the arena.
In between the lines.
We
That's
need
what's
the
going on.
logistics of kind of how to handle the dogs.
That's right. For all the dogs, as we talk keys to the game, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. One more hour. And let's get the question going. Who needs to be the biggest dog tonight? I need dogs. Because I see here, Manny Too Legit says HB needs to be the biggest dog tonight.
Shout out Frankie, said the same thing.
Frankie said the same thing. Keys to the game. I got force feed Keegan Murray. I know that Coach Brown doesn't like to make it a point and go within the flow of the offense. Brother, you need Keegan to go. And you have his brother on the other side.
Right.
Get a little
Family
bit
will
of give back.
probably be in town.
Family's in town. Gotta be. The mom wearing the half jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Or one
The
person
split.
wearing one
Yeah.
jersey, one wearing the other. Force feed Keegan Murray. Keegan. That's my dog tonight.
Wow.
Keegan Murray. There you go.
Yeah. Can we hear Nate, do you got pregame audio from Keegan Murray here? Is that what that was? Okay.
All right.
No, okay.
That's what they've been. That's what they were on Monday. We don't need that. You just have a bunch of different dogs. What's going on back there? You got them on deck.
I got a little dog bank back here.
What is going on? We asked you for other sounds, and you got to go hiding. We asked for one dog sound. You have every dog, every breed available.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
What is going on back
I
there?
got a mini pincher right here.
Okay. What is this garage band? What's going on here?
We're a radio show.
Chris,
we're ready to go.
Sir.
Keys to the game or your dog? Who is your dog?
Oh, my God.
Or give me a keys to the game.
Give me Domantas Sabonis, man. Come on. Act like an all-star. Act like a all-NBA player that you're supposed to be or that you are. Can't have 4 shot attempts in a game. And if you are going to get to the free throw line, which I would hope he can get to the free throw line, let's say more than 8 times tonight, please, Domas, please make your free throws. Just like 80% and above. I can live, you're not going to be a perfect shooter. You're still a big man. Of course, you're not going to be able to shoot 80, 90% from the free throw line all the time, but you just can't have you missing free throws at the rate that you've been missing free throws at. So my big guy is the Kings' big guy. Domas needs to step up big and play like an all-star and just destroy DeAndre Ayton. Like DeAndre Ayton is somebody who defensively, that is not his calling card. He's, you didn't want to use the S word, but he's somebody who doesn't have toughness is not necessarily one of his strong suits. Sabonis should be able to take it to him. And there's no excuse for this to not be a get right game for really just about everybody. Everybody has an opportunity tonight to have a moment to shine and to kind of get this monkey off their back because the Portland Trailblazers cannot be a better rainbow strip Mario Kart.
There's not going to be a better team in the West.
No,
there's not.
No, because even Wemby, exactly. With the Spurs, it's like you got to deal with that Wemby problem that, even Phoenix really struggled to figure out. So,
I mean, dare I say, I wouldn't say in the league because the East still has the Wizards and the Pistons, but definitely in the West, there's just not a better team to get right against. Because I would tell you what, Domas, the streets are talking.
Yes, they are.
And Chris isn't going to like this. The streets are saying, the streets are saying that Domas is just a skilled Kevon Looney.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh,
my gosh. That's nuts.
The streets are saying you are just a skilled Kevon Looney.
Well, I look, like the streets got ammo right now. That like he's giving them tons of material to work with. That's for sure. So like right now, that's what he looks like. Like he does look like a glorified, excellent rebounder because we haven't seen the skills. We haven't seen the dynamic offensive game. We haven't seen him extending his range as much as we did the first couple games. And we definitely haven't seen aggressiveness or looking to score the basketball. So that sure does sound a whole lot like Kevon Looney to me. So I definitely think so, but that's why he's my guy for tonight. I just think that he needs to reassert himself, not just as a good player. And this is the problem. It's like Sabonis isn't just talked about as, he's a really good piece and like somebody that everybody would love to have. The dude was last year labeled the third best center in the NBA behind only the guy who won MVP and then the guy who won the NBA Finals and Finals MVP and the MVP previous to that. So like he should be held at a higher level than what he's being played, how he's playing right now. And I mean, frankly, I could almost argue that he's, people are definitely on his neck. Check our YouTube chat right now, but I feel like he's kind of gotten a pass for all of this because he is somebody who's supposed to be that dog. That's supposed to be him.
Yeah.
Just yelling and being more verbal and getting his guys to play harder. And that's really like a lot of that is on him. That's why he gets paid. That's why he got this big contract boost this offseason is to be that guy. And he has not been that guy. And I don't want to hear he had a good game against Golden State. That's great. That's great. You can also argue he wasn't good enough in that game. Like 22, 12, and 8, I think he had. But you watch that game back, there weren't moments where Sabonis is just absolutely running things for 5 or 10 minutes.
No.
came in the flow of everything, and that's great to see, and it's better than what he's done these past 2 games, but doesn't mean it's good enough. Now when De'Aaron Fox isn't playing, he needs to be averaging 22 points a game. That needs to be okay, yeah, we got that from Sabonis, but thankfully we got something else from somebody else. You can't bank on that when your star's not there. Sabonis needs to be the guy, especially we talk about Harrison Barnes needing to look around and kind of read the room and see. That should be the first guy who's reading the room and understanding, well, I at least have the ability to actually go out there and do something. Some of these other guys, they're restrained by minutes. They're restrained by how often they have the ball in their hand. Domas is the quarterback. He's got the ball in his hand just about every play. He's got to do more.
Those last 2 games, and again, I always use my mother as an example because she'll watch sports, but not a big sports person. She was up here in Sacramento helping us get settled. If you were to ask someone like my mother who doesn't know ball, hey, who do you like more? This guy or that guy? Şengün or Domas? She would say Şengün. You got played, okay, by a player under 25, still on the rise. And as a guy who came here from the Bay Area, I sat here and I said, Chris, we're starting to get to know each other. Look, man, I'm going to tell you straight up, I got that outside perspective. Domas ain't it. He is not enough for the Kings. And Chris, you sit here and you put your reputation, your name on the line for this guy.
I did.
Because he is much maligned in the national media for not being that guy. Really good, but not elite. And you say, I think he is. And he got you out here looking crazy.
Crazy. Wild. Got me looking foolish.
He got you out here looking nuts.
Yeah, like I don't know what I'm talking about because he's like I can't defend him. I cannot defend his performance this entire season, and it kind of really does go back to the Warriors series because that's when it started. It's when he started looking like a completely different person, and he just stopped imprinting himself on the game. That's really the only way I could say it is before last season or during last season, you would just feel his presence so greatly, and more specifically at the start of games. I would kind of talk about how the Kings had this formula of the first quarter. At the end of every first quarter, you would look up at the box score and see Sabonis with like 8 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists every single time. And then the first half would happen, and then of course fourth quarter was all De'Aaron, but he just made his presence known. And again, like he got things going for everybody else as well. We haven't seen him get anybody else going. Kevin Huerter and Keegan are struggling incredibly, and he hasn't gotten himself going. So, I mean, really, his 2 greatest points of impact just have not been there at all this season. And it's kind of like if Kevin Huerter's not hitting a shot, if Sabonis isn't scoring and he's not making other people better, he's really not doing anything for you out there besides grabbing rebounds. And that kind of, again, brings you to the Kevon Looney.
A skilled Kevon Looney. That's what the streets are saying, Sabonis.
Crazy.
Let's figure it out. Got to get to a break. When we get back, a big change. I don't know how big you want to call it. Depends on who you ask. For the 49ers and their defense. When we get back, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Can the Niners build off their NFC Championship appearance from last season? How will the quarterbacks perform throughout the year?
Purdy back, now going to throw for the end zone, wide open, Brandon Ayuk is on fire!
Will the defense lead this squad again?
Intercepted! Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner!
Get all your 49er coverage throughout the NFL season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts' new Brake Best Select Pro brand raises the bar for the best aftermarket domestic brake pads and rotors available. For vehicle-specific friction formulations, QuietTech noise-canceling shims, and stainless steel hardware, choose Brake Best Select Pro. Professional-grade brakes from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Claim based on 2022 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company's own one report.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
What a time to be alive, especially if you're here listening to Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Oh, yeah.
Taking you up to 2 p.m., getting you ready for Kings Blazers, which, you can say some of the headline names aren't there, but it's a big game. I don't care. And Chris is going to be in the building. Go ahead and say hello to him. If you see him, he's a really nice guy.
Super nice.
In person, so go ahead and say hello.
Why you say in person? Why you throw that caveat in there? You mean like I'm not nice
you
on
don't
air?
come across nice
Just
on air?
go up and give Chris a hug.
Yeah.
That's what he wants.
Yeah.
Give him a big hug.
Right.
Don't do that.
Give him a hug. Buy him a hot dog.
And a hot dog.
I will scream. I will just scream.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just confirming who you are.
No, I mean, it's like when you say like, oh, no, Alan was actually really good today on the show.
I didn't say actually, though.
You were like, no, Chris is nice in person.
I said Chris is a nice guy in person.
That infers that I'm not nice elsewhere.
No,
Chris
it doesn't.
is a nice guy.
Is this conversation not telling you that I'm nice?
Go ahead and see him tonight. He'll be in a great mood, especially if the Kings get it done, and hopefully they do as we talk keys to the game, force-feeding Keegan Murray. Sabonis not being simply a skilled Kevon Looney. A 916 on the text line says, I'd take a skilled Looney at this point. So let's just say that the Domas stock is down right now. From the 209, is the thumbsilla issue for Domas? Did he play too long compensating for that now that he's healthy, he is off?
I'm going to say no, but I think the fact that we've gotten to the point where we're wondering, should he actually, would it be better if we just broke his thumb again?
That's crazy.
Did he actually play with one hand for so long that he kind of got used to it?
Well, he does have that push shot.
Yeah, for sure.
Was that always like that?
I don't think so. But I also kind of believe this is more just like a basketball thing. Like, I do kind of believe that a push shot in some ways is better than trying to take a jump shot at that distance.
Right, the mid-range.
Yeah,
the
like
mid-range
the mid-range,
deal.
like it just feels a little bit, it just feels easier. It feels a little more like a pop-a shot instead of, when if you're going to turn that into like an actual jump shot, it's almost like you're probably thinking about it and trying to gauge the distance a little too much.
Sure, it's floater-esque. From the 714, very thankful that we played the Baja men who let the dogs out last segment. Tonight, it'll be the Baja team. Take that triple-double to Vegas. How fun out there, 714.
Yeah.
Simone was just out there, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that dog, Nate.
There you go.
That's thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Nate. I thought you were going to do it again.
I did too. Yeah.
All right, so. Okay.
I feel like every grandma has like a tiny dog that
it says beware of dog.
Exactly like that.
Yes.
And they're
bites your
so
ankles.
mean.
So mean. Oh yeah, it's only nice to your grandma.
When you have
That's it.
food, they're all up in your face all of a sudden,
The
and you're like, oh,
nastiest
cool.
little thing.
I have a very controversial statement real quick. My second one.
All
because
day
why
today
not?
with you.
Well, Wasabi Wednesday, we're getting spicy. When somebody says, oh, is your dog nice or whatever it is, right? And the person says no. Is that an indictment on the owner, or is it that, hey, I got this dog at a later age and we're trying?
Nature
But when
versus
somebody
nurture.
is just super chill and says like, oh, my dog is a bleep, right? No, don't pet my dog. My dog's a bleep. And they're just kind of flippant about it.
Yeah.
That bothers me.
Yeah.
And I don't ask to pet dogs. I got cats. I don't ask to pet dogs.
Yeah.
But when people do, I see it all the time because people are obsessed with petting dogs. And they say, oh, no, don't do that. My dog is not nice. Or, is your dog friendly? No.
Yeah. Let me
You're
tell
just
you,
cool with that?
I think that it's definitely an owner problem for the most part, in most circumstances, especially like you're saying, if you just kind of throw it out there like, oh yeah, no, my dog's a jerk. Like don't touch him. He'll bite your hand off. Or something.
Right.
When because the problem is, and let me tell you, because I can tell you because I was one of these people. When you think about getting a dog, you just think like, you had a family dog your whole life. You just think it's like a cat. You honestly think it's a cat where you just water it, you feed it.
Right.
Water the cat. You give the cat water, you feed
and it grows.
and
you give it
Like
sunlight.
a chia pet.
take it outside to pee, and that's the gist of it.
Make sure it gets sun. Put it in a pot.
You don't make sure that, like, you're going to train. Like, everybody just assumes that dogs come ready to go out the package. And you don't think about the fact that dogs are like humans, and everyone has their own personality. And sometimes there's just dogs that are jerks, and there ain't nothing, like, you just got to put in tons of effort, or you have to just minimize how big of a jerk he is. And I mean, as somebody who just kind of blindly got my dog and assumed it would be the greatest thing ever, which it actually was, which was shocking. But I think people just kind of don't think about the fact that, sometimes dogs just are jerks, and there's nothing you can do about it.
So you're saying...
I'm saying it's the owner's fault.
You're saying that a dog could be more of a jerk than other dogs, but it's on the owner to fight
control
through it. That means you just need to
if your dog
train it
is
harder.
a jerk, then it's your responsibility to try and make it a sociable dog.
Okay. I'm just saying.
And some dogs are past the point of return, but like there's just, you've tried so hard, and
that's, I guess, what
skittish or something,
and I guess that's what I'm saying in those situations. It's just so chill. Some people are, and I'm just looking at it from afar, and I'm just thinking, you don't want to fix that.
I think
you know what I mean.
The
But
moral
maybe
of the story is get cats.
There you go.
Stop hating on cats, y'all.
Hey, this is a pro cat show.
Yes, it is.
All right, and there will be no cat slander, ever on this show. Stiles and Watkins, and big news out of Santa Clara that just dropped 10 minutes ago in terms of the Steve Wilks conversation being on the field, being in the booth. As we remember, Robert Saleh going crazy with the team on the sideline, D'Amico Ryans going crazy on the sidelines, and there was a question because that defense hasn't been as ferocious as we continue with this dog thing as it has been in the past. Steve Wilks, and this is coming from Kyle Shanahan, Steve Wilks will be on the field against the Jaguars on Sunday.
Yes.
And Tim Kawakami is now, just his own opinion for The Athletic, is now saying, is this a bit of a panic move? Because when we had decided this, right, he was going to be in the booth.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Kyle Shanahan, and I believe you have it, Chris, what Kyle Shanahan said as far as why they made the change. Kyle Shanahan is saying, we're doing things differently now because it wasn't working.
Yeah, pretty much that's definitely the gist of what he said. Shanahan said, I wanted him to be down and near our players. That's the way we had it with the linebacker communication in the past. That's pretty much the gist of what he said. I definitely would tend to agree with Tim Kawakami that it does feel like, I don't know if it's panic, but it's at least an admission of being wrong. And, and not even, I wouldn't even say that. It's just an admission that, like we talked about with Kevin Herter taking shots after the game, and it's an acknowledgement that something is going on. Something is off, and we need to switch something up about how we're doing things, because whatever way we're doing it clearly wasn't working. And, I don't have an issue with it, because I think it would be almost worse if the Niners just went blind eye to it and didn't think anything of it. But also, I wonder how much of this even really matters. Like, how much of a coach being in the booth versus on the sideline. I understand, sure, maybe, when we're talking about the psychology of it, maybe the energy is a little bit different. But if I could also be, a little bit of a purist here, like if a player needs a coach to hype him up, there's something wrong with the player.
Right. And
I don't think it should matter that he's on the sideline.
No, is that the reason they're missing tackles? Right? Is that the reason they're missing assignments? I'm looking.
Is that why DBs are getting burnt?
Is that why
or playing soft
you smell
coverage?
that?
Yeah,
you smell that burnt toast.
Yeah.
Is that why? Because he's up there in the booth. Dan Quinn, I'm looking here. Pro Football Network has ranked the defenses, and this is as of today, November 8th, and they have Cleveland is number one. Of course, they've been ridiculous. Yep. The Ravens is number two. The Ravens have a good defense every single year. The Chiefs at number 3, and it's interesting what's going on in Kansas City, because you have the offense, which has been sputtering, and the Chiefs' defense is what's been doing very well. Number 4, the Jets, no surprise there. Number 5, the Cowboys, and I don't know how many of these DCs are in the booth. I know Dan Quinn's in the booth, right? And they're at number 5. Number 6, the Jaguars, who the Niners will play on Sunday. Very much looking forward to that game. Saints, number 7, always have a good defense. And at number 8, the Niners. And it says the 49ers haven't been as dominant as Cleveland in 2023, but they've been a steady presence at the top of lists like this for years now.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of expectations. It's not as if the defense has fallen off a cliff.
No.
But with who you have, I think that's the main thing. If you look at the defensive positions before they had Chase Young, you would expect them to be in the top 5.
Yes.
Right? When we were going into the season, we said they have a top 5 offense, top 5 defense. And to even drop to 8, even though it doesn't seem like that crazy of a drop, it is a drop. And when you are trying to win a championship and it's a championship season, that's not good enough. 3 spots means a lot, especially when you have an offense that hasn't been doing their thing. So very interested to see how Steve Wilks does on the sideline. I don't expect him to be rah-rah up and down, jumping up and down like Salah or D'Amico Ryans, but maybe it'll help when we get back. We're talking more Niners and Brock Purdy. I have a question for Chris and Nate. Where would you rank Brock Purdy, and would you take him over a couple other guys in the league? I'll save those names for when we return, and then we got more Kings talk after that. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Check out the Golf to Go Hour with Frank LaRosa every week on Sactown Sports. Get the latest on equipment, area courses, people who play the great game, and plenty of good conversations about golf. It's the Golf to Go Hour every week with Frank LaRosa on Sactown Sports. Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, America's most awarded golf facility. Naturewood Home Furnishings, where it's all about choices and always about quality.
It's the model year-end sales event at Acura of Stockton. Elevate your driving experience with a vehicle that's built to impress. Lease a new Acura RDX or MDX. Acura of Stockton has a great selection of new Acuras and customer service that will exceed your expectations. Take luxury to a whole new level in a new Acura from Acura of Stockton or AcuraofStockton.com, where precision-crafted performance is at your fingertips.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Get wings the way you want them. Try Twin Peaks wings bone-in breaded, naked, smoked and grilled, or boneless in your favorite sauce or rub.
At aimyourdigital.com, we'll help you find the right customers. Spread awareness of your product or services. We can help build trust in your brand and services with a digital marketing campaign. Increase leads and get more customers. We create tailored digital marketing campaigns that deliver results. Don't wait. Get started today. Contact aimyourdigital.com. That's aimyourdigital.com and start seeing results.
Hagen Oaks wants you to know about the exciting new T-Series irons from Titleist, offering effortless speed, exceptional feel, and precise control. Working with tour pros and dedicated amateurs, Titleist T-Series are available in 4 different models. The fitting team at Hagen Oaks will find the perfect Titleist T-Series iron for you. Call 916-808-2531 to find your fit today. Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway, or online at hagenoaks.com.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with 0 down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com. 0
down with approved credit.
Live and local.
This is Sactown Sports.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, 30 more minutes with you. Been quite the show from Baha Men. How much play is Baha Men? Because, you know, with Christmas around the corner, Mariah Carey's about to cash out again. That might be the best deal in the history of music. Mariah Carey and the All I Want for Christmas Is You. And she's played it beautifully. She's marketed it beautifully.
Yes.
Baja Men, we're giving you some promo here. Maybe Baja Men could light the beam. We can organize that.
That'd be great.
We can try to organize that for sure as we take you up to 2 p.m. from the 916 as we are getting a little. We've been tough on Domas. We've been tough on Sabonis, but you know what? He can handle it.
Yep.
He can take it. We want dogs today because Malik Monk says there's plenty on that team. Says there really isn't much of a push on Domas's push shot. It's more of a flick of the wrist.
It really
from
is.
Chris. Yeah, it's an odd looking.
It is.
It's an odd looking shot.
Yeah, it's definitely a.
You don't feel confident when and he's left-handed too.
Yeah, it's just like as somebody I can sympathize because I think Domas just feel mean about saying it, but I think he frankly just kind of doesn't have much touch. And touch is one of those things where you're either born with it or you're not.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody who doesn't have it, I can sympathize because it definitely, that's what it appears with that push shot. Like Rashawn Holmes had really good touch on his push shot. He could get it real close and he would hit bottom of the net every time. Sabonis is literally flicking it like we have a golf ball in our hand and we're like trying to knock it into a I don't know.
Like that's very true. But I was going to say, French Simone. I mean, maybe you get Tony Parker to help Sabonis, right? He had a good floater.
he had a great float. He actually had a great
float game was crazy.
I don't want to support that setup, but yeah, it's fine.
All right, I'll organize it. Yeah. Nate, did we get your dog? Did we ever get your dog for the day?
My dog? No, we didn't.
No, we just got sounds.
We just got sounds. My dog of the day. I mean, it's going to be a king, obviously.
Yes.
We know that.
Yeah.
Dog of the day. I'm just going to go with Keegan. I think his aggressiveness finally pays off.
Okay.
And those shots.
That was my dog,
hitting.
but.
Should I go a different dog? JaVale McGee, baby.
No.
That's my dog. Why?
Because you wanted Keegan. We can both have Keegan.
I'll go JaVale. JaVale, he's going to have 2 alley-oops. Both from Malink.
Okay.
I think he's going to put up 12 points and 10 rebounds.
Wow. A Dublé, a Michael Dublé.
I'm going to say something crazy, too.
You already did.
I think he has 3 rebounds on 1 possession.
That's a
JaVale thing.
Randomly specific.
Yeah.
But that's also a JaVale thing that could happen.
Yeah.
I don't disagree.
30 more minutes. 30 more minutes for the show. Thank you, Nate, for your contribution
Thank you
as
for
always. Be a part of the conversation, 916-339-1140. Who's got to be your dog tonight? Let us know. Who is your dog for tonight? I got Keegan. Nate kind of has Keegan as well as JaVale McGee, and 3 defensive or offensive rebounds in 1 possession.
Offensive.
Okay, offensive. You never know. And now Chris had Sabonis as Sabonis really is trying to drive his stock back up and stop being called skilled. Kevon Looney.
Can I throw a tier 2 in there?
Sure.
Davion Mitchell, who, can we go over that injury report for the Blazers one more time, and I'll tell you a little commonality. It's not hard to find.
So as far as who is not playing for the Blazers, you have Scoot Henderson out.
Point guard.
You have Anfernee Simons out.
Shooting guard.
You have Ish Wainwright out.
Backup.
And you have Robert Williams out.
So the Blazers aren't going to be without their 2 starting guards, is what I'm hearing. Scoot Henderson's going to be out, and Anfernee Simons won't be out there, which makes me believe that Malcolm Brogdon will probably get a lot of time. But more so, I'm just using that to point out the fact that they don't have their best guards out there either. And Davion Mitchell, I'm not saying he's got to go out there and put up 20 or 15 or anything like that, but can he just have a productive night? Like, can he be Davion Mitchell tonight, whether it be on the defensive end or we saw him produce offensively for the first couple games of the season. He was hitting some wide open threes or some threes off Sabonis screens. Just more of that. Like, can we just see Davion Mitchell look comfortable and not look like how he did? Because Davion looked terrible both of those games in Houston.
Yeah.
Maybe you can argue maybe the worst of everybody in terms of, Harrison wasn't really shooting, but in terms of people who were, putting up shots, Davion's just was not falling. So
not pound for pound.
Not pound for pound. But
Chris Murray is not, he hasn't been getting a lot of run this year, right? So far.
Nope.
With all these injuries, he will presumably get more minutes, correct?
I hope so.
Possible.
Okay. Do you guys think at any point tonight there's a turnover because someone thinks they're passing to Keegan or someone thinks they're passing to Chris and they pass to the wrong one?
No.
I don't think so.
If their jerseys were more similar, then maybe.
Okay, just wanted to check.
I like that thought though.
Yeah.
You're thinking outside the box. You're thinking it in a different square or a different shape.
Yeah. I just needed to hear from some professionals.
Mm-hmm.
I would say no though.
I would say probably not. But
Okay.
you never know.
I'm going to say yes.
I like that. I mean, maybe it happens.
I like the thought of it.
I doubt it, but it is.
What color are the
possible.
Kings wearing tonight?
That's a great question. Let me figure that
Because
out.
Portland's probably going to wear white, correct?
Yeah.
I just think it's something you should look out for as a Kings fan tonight.
Okay.
The Kings will be wearing white tonight.
Okay.
You
First
know
appearance
what?
in the whites at home.
Okay, whites at home. You know what? So yeah,
1 and 2 on the season while wearing their whites.
Okay.
Oh no.
Here's another bet. Here's another over under the amount of times, and obviously we're only listening to one broadcast, so you can't do between the two. The amount of brother/twin jokes tonight.
Oh. Draper's gonna have at least 2.
I'm at 3.5.
I would go under. I feel like Katie and Kyle aren't very like corny like that.
Right.
Not like that. You know, like
Right,
I don't
right.
think that I shouldn't have said it.
And if you
Shouldn't
have
have
a league
emphasized
pass,
like that.
well, if you have a league pass, we can also check Blazers as well.
The Blazers,
'Cause I know
would
nothing
give a
about.
lot.
Yeah.
Not a national game tonight, correct?
No, it's
No.
not.
Yeah.
It's not a national game. Yeah, I would go under 3.5, but just general references of their siblinghood.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I would say 3.5 is a strong number for that because there's without a doubt they're at least showing the parents in the stands
At least once.
Yeah.
That's one reference.
Do you think they show on screen a side by side of the
Yes.
two sitting on the bench?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
that's a guarantee.
That's a lock.
to.
That might even be immediately after the parent cutaway. And then the second, if they're ever on the floor at the same time, of
Right.
course you have to
That's
say it.
3 already.
Yeah, that's 3 already. And so all it
Without
would take is like
corniness.
a dunk on Chris or something, or
and,
you know,
and then they
whopping
pan,
the 3
they
and-
pan right
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
the brother.
Yes, exactly.
3.5, you got to go over. I'm going over.
Well, you'll be watching the broadcast today.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, so that's going to be on you to keep track of.
Okay. I will.
This is
I will.
important stuff.
I'm actually now really excited for this pregame because I'm
Yeah.
sure they're going to do, you know, there's going to be tons of cameras around them. And, you know, I'm sure they'll be, you know what? Chris and Keegan actually give me vibes of, we'll talk after the game. Like, you know,
They'll dap each other up and
Yeah.
keep it pushing.
yeah. Yeah.
They're not gonna, it's not gonna be a whole
They're also
thing.
like they
I'm
probably talk every day.
I'm gonna give you a layup here.
Uh-huh.
It's not gonna be like Steph and Del Curry when Steph is
Oh my
when shooting shots with
Yeah.
Del and having
He's
him
in the
pass him
background
the
of the-
ball.
Our number one fan has a comment for us. Joe
Okay.
Jaros. Are you guys
Hey.
familiar with him?
Yes.
I've heard of him.
He said, if Chris plays well, should the Kings try to swap the two?
Come on, man.
Come on,
Joe.
Joe. No,
Keegan is catching a lot of heat,
he's catching a lot.
but
It's really everybody. That's the thing. Like Sabonis has
Right. All
apparently
of you can
we've
get
spent
this
too much
work.
time. Yesterday, Davion was getting too much time. Kevin Herter has gotten his share of hate.
Family Schlegel, are you guys going to play how many minutes Harrison Barnes plays? Are you going to play that tomorrow? See,
I hope not.
I hope not,
Yeah.
because we play that when we're not sure because we don't remember Harrison on the floor. So if you're asking us, are we going to play it? My answer is no, because Harrison is going to show up and he's going to make his presence
I don't
known.
think we played it the other day after his 3-point masterclass.
No, we
on
were
Monday.
going to, but I accidentally saw.
Oh, okay.
Oh, do you
So-
remember?
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
if he scored
okay.
3 points, it better have been under 25 minutes.
I think it was 14.
Huh.
That doesn't sound right.
No,
It
that
doesn't,
doesn't.
but I mean,
that doesn't
and
sound
also the game script from the other day probably,
right.
From
lends
Nicktown,
itself.
don't underestimate the Blazers due to injury, just as we did with Houston. That's one thing that I have definitely learned.
I don't think anybody's underestimating anybody anymore. After
Right.
those 2 games, I feel like the Kings are very aware that at this point, it's more about them taking care of business.
Right. At this point, it is less about who the Blazers don't have, even though we've made jokes and we're going to have to eat hot sauce if they lose. But you roll that ball out. Malcolm Brogdon might be the game
Yeah, he can
where
give you
Malcolm
30.
Brogdon
He
says,
really could.
I'm tired of being relegated to a bench role when I was supposed to be a starter on the Celtics. And one day I left Indiana as the supposed starter for the point guard problem in Boston. And then I woke up and I was in Portland backing up a new young stud point guard.
Yep.
Life comes at you fast.
Real
And he
quick.
might say, tonight is my night. So to your point, Davion, as a second-tier dog tonight, you got to get it done. Got to get to a break. When we get back, more Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and all NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam Team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
It's the first ever Elk Grove Kia Frozen Turkey Bowling Extravaganza on November 18th, 2023 from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. That's right, a frozen turkey becomes the bowling ball, and 10 liquid-filled plastic beverage bottles are your pins. It's not just bowling, it's an adventure. Knock down those pins. Each pin has a number attached to it, which means your skills can lead you to awesome prizes. And guess what? Each person gets 2 rolls, so you can aim for perfection. Now, how can you be part of this amazing event? Simple. Register at Elk Grove Kia for one of the 8 coveted spots through a raffle. But hurry, the registration deadline is November 17th, 2023 at 6 p.m. sharp. And here's the best part. No purchase is necessary. That's right. It's all about the fun and games. So make your way to Elk Grove Kia in the Elk Grove Auto Mall today for a chance to win a spot at the inaugural Elk Grove Kia Turkey Bowl. Rules and regulations at elkgrovekia.com.
Elk Grove Kia.
A psoriasis flare-up can make a walk in the park, well, no walk in the park.
It's that obvious, huh? I've tried so many lotions and creams, but I still have symptoms.
So those don't do enough to treat the inflammation beneath the skin, leaving you with those uncontrolled symptoms.
Makes sense, but what else can I do?
You can get real with your dermatologist so they can help you get clear. Make an appointment and, you're already on it.
Hi, yes, I'd like to make an appointment.
Get real clear about psoriasis at letsgetrealclear.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because only the Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed lets you each sleep up to 13 degrees cooler or warmer on either side, while you both sleep at your ideal level of firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And now our all-new next-gen smart beds have temperature benefits, so you sleep better night after night. And now, during our Veterans Day sale, save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Yep, that trailer hitch and folding bed cover from TruckSmart makes road trips a breeze.
Right? I'm so much more organized on the job site since TruckSmart installed my truck rack and toolbox.
And they had it all in stock, so I just waited as they installed everything.
Take a look at this sweet Rhino truck lining. They sprayed it on.
Yeah, you win. That is sweet.
Truck Smart, truck and SUV accessories for on the road and the job site. Stop by one of our 2 locations in Rockland or Auburn. TruckSmart.com. Your truck's gonna love them.
Winter is coming. I know you know that, but are you prepared to keep your family warm all season long? At American Energy Heating and Air, their goal is to exceed your expectations of the heating and air industry by valuing the customer experience and making your home comfort system as efficient as possible for the most value. So book your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. Prevent dangerous gas leaks. Extend the life of that furnace and save on your energy bills. And here's the guarantee. This isn't a sales call. They're not getting in the door so they can try to sell you a bunch of stuff. No, they're just going to do what they say they're going to do. Call today to schedule an appointment at 916-520-9990 or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A-plus Better Business Bureau rating. Get your $49 furnace tune-up and safety inspection today. 916-520-9990. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Individual rates, offerings, and savings may vary, subject to terms and conditions. Not available in all states and situations.
Hey, small business owner. Are you ready to have the best year ever in 2024? When's the last time you checked your workers' comp rate? For many small businesses, workers' comp insurance is one of their biggest costs. But Pi Insurance could save you up to 30% in just 3 minutes. Go to trypi.com, share a few details about your business, and get a quote that's customized for your business. No hassles or hidden fees. We know you're busy, but spending just a few minutes to check your rate could make this your best year ever. Plus, when you sign up for pay-as-you-go billing, your premium is based on your actual payroll, not an estimate. So your workers' comp audit experience is simplified. See how much you could save with Pi Insurance. Ask your agent for Pi or get a quote at trypi.com. That's TRYPIE.com.
Guys, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making you this guarantee. We will improve the medical condition of your ED or low T, or we'll give you your money back. Book today. Call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Sactown Sports.
Check us out on YouTube. Search Sactown Sports and subscribe.
Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, 15 more minutes with you. Then it's time for the Drive guys who will be on location. The Golden One Center, the location of the nearest beam that we will see.
We will.
I can guarantee you that. We've been messing with some different random things that might happen tonight, and I came across something, Chris, as we talked about Chris Murray going up against the brother Keegan Murray, and there will be a lot of conversation about that. I believe that Chris Murray will get his first NBA points tonight.
That's a great call.
And he's going to get his points because he hasn't been getting a lot of playing time. And the Kings are going to be up big, and they're going to be garbage time, going to get to flip the script, and Chris Murray is going to get his first points against his brother's team.
I love that.
And that will also push my over for mentions about the twin brothers, and it's a win-win.
That's a fantastic call because
it's a win-win.
I'll just add to it that, coaches definitely know. Coach Chauncey Billups definitely knows that, this is Keegan.
And they ain't playing for nothing.
His parents are in town for sure, watching the game. And they're not. What are they playing for? Absolutely nothing. So it would not surprise me at all if Chris gets maybe even some early playing time. But definitely the situation you laid out, I'm all here for it because, frankly, it should be one of those nights. It should be a night where, man, did the Kings really need to beat on the Blazers by 40 like that? Probably not. But with where the Kings are at right now, I would very much welcome just a complete blowout performance where it's over by the end of the third and we're just seeing scrubs. I would love to see 15 Keon Ellis minutes again tonight for a different reason.
But beggars can't be choosers in the conversation. 916-339-1140. When you're on a 3-game losing streak, I don't think you can sit there and say, well, I want this to be a blowout. And are we going to I don't see us doing a show tomorrow if the Kings win on a buzzer beater. I think normally we might say you had no business being in that situation. But after a 3-game skid, we'll take it however we can get.
Beggars cannot be choosers. No. This is not Chipotle.
No, I will get you the guac. Don't worry about it. We got you. And we've already been over that.
We got the hot sauce.
That's right. Let's go to Steven, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Steven? You're on Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Checking in a little late, boys, so I apologize.
Better late than never.
Right now. Better late than never. That is right. Man, we need some dogs tonight, right?
Yes, sir.
We've been talking about it all day. If there's anything I want to see tonight, and I'm pretty sure every 99% of all Kings fans out there are going to be in agreement with this. I want to see us literally put our foot on their neck as soon as tip-off and, not let it go until the final buzzer. I feel like that level of urgency really needs to be out there. These boys need to come out, guns blazing. We need to come out and just have all of the energy. We need to take all of the wind out of their sails. We're going to be in their house. No, we're home tonight. Okay,
tonight.
So, we home, baby. So we got the beam. We got the home crowd. We got all the vibes. We need to show the home crowd, and we need to show the hometown, hey, we here. We out here, man. We out here, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're out here trying to win, and we're out here trying to turn things around because, damn, those two Houston games, it doesn't get any lower than that. I mean, let's be honest here. So, hey, enjoy the game, guys, and man, let's light the beam, boys.
Yes, sir.
Hashtag LTB, light the beam. Thanks for the call, Steven. As
usual. Appreciate you guys.
Manny Too Legit on the YouTube chat, light that beam tonight. And going back to our conversation, if you're just joining us or if you've been listening, about, hey, if things didn't go well for the Kings this season, would you consider ending the Beam era or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And really what it is now is it is a term of endearment at this point.
Exactly.
It ain't about the actual beam.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody says, light that beam tonight, you know they're a Kings fan,
for sure.
and you know that they're riding with the Beam team and the Kings, and you're trying to get that W.
Exactly.
LTB.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like you said, I remember last year there was someone who was at Disneyland, and he was he saw a dude with the Kings hat on, and he was like, light the beam, and he was like, light the beam.
Right,
and it really is it's a term of endearment. It's a way of the community coming together, and it's just it's a great rallying cry. And I really do think it's just another thing that when things are rolling, when things are going well, when it's not like what it is right now, it's a thing that we all celebrate together as a community. Like, it really is as cheesy and corny as you want to make it. Like, people do huddle around the beam, and Vivek always talks about basketball in a very religious way, almost, where he talks about how, the basketball arenas are like the modern day coliseums and cathedrals where people come to worship the sport of basketball. And, Golden One Center truly has that kind of feel, where it is kind of like a place of worship where we go to worship our beam overlords. And,
yes.
I mean, it really is it's a really big community thing.
Are you not entertained? Yes. And we haven't been lately, King.
No, not even a little bit.
Hopefully you can change that for us tonight, 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Eric, who wants to talk Beam Team. What's up, Eric? You're on Stiles and Watkins.
What's going on, fellas?
What you got for us, my guy?
Yeah, I wanted to my take is a little bit different. So we all in Sacramento, we want the Kings to do well. But I happen to be not happy, but I'm not mad at their early season struggles. And here's why. I think right around December, maybe it's even in January, when certain contracts can be traded. I think what the Kings are going through now is giving Monty a vision of this team as currently constructed absolutely cannot go further than they did last year. With all the draft capital and everything they have, it's given Monty a look to say, okay, I'm going to have to change this up. And I can't do it until Harrison Barnes and some of the other guys that are their assets are tradable. But it's fool's gold. If they had started the season 6-0 and this team is not, as it's currently constructed, going to advance further than they did last year. So I'm hoping that this spurs Monty into action once they are able to trade some of their assets, and we get some dogs in here and some ballers that know. I mean, no offense to the guy, but my man they got from Indiana,
Sabonis.
Blanking on his name. No, the shooting guard. I mean, this he couldn't shoot in Indiana.
Duarte.
He had a hard time shooting in Indiana.
Yeah.
He had a hard time staying healthy in Indiana. So what do you think is going to happen here? He's not better than Kevin Huerter. Maybe that was to spur Huerter into playing better defense, adding him to the roster, but he's not a better player, nor is he a better fit than Huerter. So again, that's just my take on it. I'm hoping that this little blurb, this early season stumble, spurs Monty into action, and we can get maybe a couple guys out of Toronto, one of those two, Anunoby and Pascal Siakam, or somebody else, because the way this roster is set up now, it ain't happening. Appreciate you guys.
That's a great call, Eric.
Great call. Snuck it in at the buzzer.
Edition
I love
for
it.
Call of the Day. Eric, please call back. You
whenever,
will be
man.
a friend of the show, because that's an interesting way to look at it.
Great way of looking at it.
If they came out 6-0 and it's, that Chris Tucker meme, this thing fake when he's burning the dollar and it's burning red, you would think, wow, these guys are going to be able to eclipse how, and we sit here and we do beaming or dreaming. The question is, does Monty and this front office and the coaching staff think that maybe this group and this window might not be ready this season, but could get there next season?
Yeah.
And I don't believe that Eric believes that, and I don't believe that you believe that. I believe that most people believe that you will eventually have to make a change.
Yes.
And if you will eventually have to make a change, then what you waiting for?
No better time than the present.
What you waiting for?
Yeah.
So I think it's a great call by Eric.
That's fantastic.
And if they did get off to a good start, then maybe we're having a different conversation here because you're thinking, hey, they're rocking and rolling. But
that's for my dog, Eric.
There you go.
There you go.
You give a good call, you get a woof. A good one, too.
Yeah.
You get a bad call, you get a chihuahua. Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it.
I like that. And we can do that for takes, too.
Yeah,
I think my beam take would have got a chihuahua, I think, a little bit earlier. But final thoughts. We got a minute left. Final thoughts for the game, Chris. Any bold predictions, anything like that?
Let's see here. I mean, I definitely think it's going to be a big night for Keegan and Chris, obviously. But I think Keegan's going to use the energy of being back at home, having his family in town, having his brother there as well. Like, it feels like a good opportunity for him to kind of feel comfortable, knock down some shots, and kind of get things back on track. We saw Kevin Huerter get things a little bit back on track the other day in Houston. I would like to see that continue as well. I think the big thing for tonight, and hopefully a sign of things to come, just making shots, just hitting shots that we feel like they can hit. I want to see Kevin and Keegan both have really big nights tonight, and that's all I really want.
Well, hopefully that's the case. What a show for number 10.
Incredible.
Thank you to Nate. Thank you to Simone. Stiles and Watkins. Light the beam. The beam ain't going nowhere. Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the